confronted with a monster of a man.
We hunted him across the seas.
Into the storm.
Then we fell.
Now we are here.
The sky twists.
The stars are all wrong.
We killed the man.
But we're no closer to home.
We left for different reasons.
For legends.
For adventure.
For acceptance.
For fame.
For answers.
But how do we escape?
The Everstorm.
Oh, yeah. It's the Everstorm time.
What time
Welcome,
is it?
everybody. Hello. It's Everstorm time. Okay. Welcome,
Everstorm
everybody,
time.
to the Everstorm. This is Season 2, Episode 11, Misdirection. So, where we left off our players, the crews aboard the ship, they were not really sure what to do with the 5 days of Balron seemingly unresponsive yet alive. And at the end of that 5 days, as they came to an equidistant place between the two islands, they believe Skeezer's maker, father, Doom, is Balron finally awoke, and with him another Balron, which led to Balranical craziness. It was lovely. Nobody liked it except me and Ogle. We had a great time.
It was amazing. I had fun.
At that conclusion, the fake Balron revealed himself to be some sort of fae that tried to say, that's the game, don't hate the player, and then dove off the ship and vanished. Upon which the players all interacted and sort of shared stories as to what happened. They all know a little bit more about what happened. A little bit. And now they are approaching one of the two islands, Rika Kanaku, as to finally figure out what's going to happen. It is evening, and as you guys were all setting down for the night, Skeezer rolled a nat 20, I believe. Is that right, Skeezer?
That is correct.
And then Fulcrum didn't get it, and Balron did, I believe.
Yeah,
Balron got a 15. Fulcrum got a 9. Nope.
No, I was low.
Balron got a 15.
Or
Yeah,
Kodo
got a
did.
5.
Kodo get a 13.
Okay, so then only Skeezer. Skeezer, at the end of that night, as Skeezer was getting ready to sit down for bed, he seemed to see
Oh,
Morgaine
ballsack.
faintly float up
Lord,
into
huh?
the sky.
What's the daisy?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's
Make
not
it good,
okay.
everybody.
It won't. You know better than that.
It'll drive Clint slowly insane.
It's already happened.
I don't care. It's fine.
Happened
I
like
like
10
that.
minutes ago.
I like that art too.
Mhm.
So, Skeezer, as you look up, it looks like Morgaine's standing up, looking up at something, and just as you track what maybe he's looking at that has him concerned, he continues to keep floating up. And then he just speeds up soundlessly right into the sky.
Morgaine, trying a new spell? Oh. Guys? Morgaine, you gonna come down?
What? What's happening? And then he comes back with two of them. Sorry, there's all these weird things coming out of the ocean, guy. What?
I don't know. I think Morgaine's taken off to the skies. He's maybe it's like a flight or something. Levitation, maybe?
Morgaine can't fly.
I don't know. It seems like every other day one of you guys does something crazy.
So wait, he's not in the crow's nest anymore? I'm gonna scurry up there.
Morgaine's sitting there. He looks over. He's like, "Yeah, is everything okay?"
Oh, Yeah, Skeezer said he thought he saw you fly into the air or something.
Really?
There's been a lot of
Well,
weird things.
I might have flown into the air, but if it did, I don't remember doing it. So
It's a
do what you
spot
want
on.
with that.
Spot on.
All right. Sure. Talk to Skeezer about it
you
later. I
guys-
guess.
Should I come down or something?
No, keep an eye out. Maybe just tie yourself off with a rope.
All right. Whatever you guys want.
You know, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Skeezer, he's up here.
Huh. Maybe he's an illusionist now.
Going back to my room.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take a look up there. I'm gonna detect magic.
Okay.
I want to know.
Give me an Arcana.
All right. $19.
You do get the presence. There is a aura slightly misting into the air above the crow's nest area, because you currently can't see Morgaine because he's sort of seated in the crow's nest strumming along, and you do hear the guitar playing. And that mist going up is vaguely silver in color, but it also looks like it could be just fog. And you've rolled well enough to know that as you're really trying to pay attention, there is a level of abjuration purposely trying to mask some element of the spell. You get the vibe that
Thank
what
you for the
you're
follow,
seeing-
TV virus tragedy.
Ooh, thank you for the
thank you.
follow.
Oh man, I thought it was just T-virus.
Oh, it is T virus. I can't read.
Resident Evil, right?
It
T-virus.
certainly is.
Unbearable.
Very-
We're really only like 2 months away from a T-virus tragedy right here in the good old United States.
Mhm.
True statement.
So you're looking and you see a couple earmarks of runic line work for abjuration.
All right,
And-
hold on a second.
As a spell note, abjuration tends to have spiral, box, or hexagonal runes. Everything in its written word is very geometric
Okay.
and it's almost sealed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna go up the crow's nest.
Okay. Hey, is everything
Hey,
okay?
Morgan! High five, buddy.
Hey. And he goes up and he high fives you, and you feel a hit, and then your hand starts to pass through. Give me a intelligence save.
Okay. 14. Is this a magical effect?
It is.
All right, I get to roll again. That's better. 26.
You feel an ambient influence, not directed, but like you're in it, like a fog, press in simultaneously, and it is attempting to muddle your memories of Morgaine. You feel like memories getting faded and or altered, and you're like, no, and you start to, in your head, like when you've got an earworm for a pop song, go through one of your trained mantras that you had from the mage school that you now know you never attended.
That's the one.
To
Good old didn't go too high.
right, and
Look at that. He fixed the overlay like that. Good work.
What a
look at
badass.
this guy. Look at this guy.
Damn.
We're
Professional.
good, Gangres. We're good.
And
Thank you, sir.
so As you go through this mantra, you throw up a tiny resistance, and you feel it repelled. And your hand does pass through.
Huh. Well, I guess you are really up here. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys need me to come down, I can come down. I don't care.
No, I guess
Everybody
you're up here.
seems to be a little. Did something happen? Because I got you guys saying I flew, and if I need
thought
to
you were
come
learning a
down,
new magic spell. You know, you just took off into the sky.
well,
and,
I'm trying to work on something right now, but it hasn't really done. I mean, it sounds pretty good. Here, check this out.
And
he
when I'm
starts
looking
swimming
up,
it out.
I want to be looking up there to see if I spot him.
You look up and you don't see anything. Give me
Okay.
an Arcana, because you could have detect magic up for like a scene. You do see the faint traces of almost like a disturbances in air patterns with slight traces of conjuration and transmutation magic.
Said conjuration and transmutation?
I did.
Well, okay. Well, you just hang out up here and keep an eye out. I saw something out that way. And I'll point out towards the ocean and, you know, I'll see you in a little bit. And then I'll go back down.
Right. Whatever. You guys tell me if you need something. I don't, it's whatever you guys want to do.
Well, once I get down the bottom, I'm going to kind of bring the guys in for a little team powwow.
Are we all awake or something?
I know
you're not, because everybody was going to bed. So Balrin was trying to get asleep, Balrin doesn't sleep. Balrin was watching his rum, was disturbed by this nonsense, found out the nonsense. This nonsense went back to the rum. You vaguely hear the hamster-like chitter of an excited, puzzle-intrigued skeezer aboard. And you know what? It's a little late for this.
Not worth it.
Just not have another puzzle for once.
Yeah.
You see that I don't know where your quarters actually are. Are you over here in Balrin's side with the booze, or are you with the skeezer?
I will not be with all the skeezers, no.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Did he just pick Balrin over skeezers?
He did.
After
I
all
wanted
of them?
to know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
so there
rough.
is a mathematical formula between the whole group here.
Yeah, I guess we all are working on beers. I didn't even notice that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm due for a shave, but yeah, I guess it's
Oh yeah,
forever.
I have been working on the same beard for the last 30-some years.
30 years.
I don't know what you're talking about. I shaved right before the stream
It's because
started.
Clint
Like,
in real life
that's true.
is kind of half elf. Like some of his face will grow a beard and some of it just won't. Just baby smooth.
Nothing
We'll
here.
do it.
Nothing. And this actually just comes in kind of like a sideburn. Like no actual hair will grow there. It's more just like I will grow my sideburns long before I will get a beard. I can comb them down.
So you guys are all on the main deck except for Kodo and Balrin. So Fulcrum and Skeezer, you're there. Righton is running around tending to things. However, Righton has recently become distracted. He does stay up here at the bow, and now he's got Tolig out from Grig's duty doing
Righton
the
is
same.
here?
I said Righton. That's a mistake.
I was going to say
didn't
what?
mean
Like
I meant Lindell,
there we go.
There we go.
and I'm going to stick with what I said, Lindell, because that's what I said. Tolig has Lindell has Tolig manning the fore ballista, as in fore as opposed to aft. And so as the ship is sitting there, and you guys are currently coasting slowly towards Rikakanaku, ever since you started seeing stuff, the orders were to pull back on the sails and let's see how things progress before we pour into something angry.
Hostile actions.
Just observing.
You guys hear rumbling in the distance, and as you see that the sun is setting, the sky is becoming overcast, and from the center of the great spin, angry clouds are pouring out. And they're pouring out like slowly. I mean, you have to watch. It's like you don't notice it at first until you've walked away for like 10 minutes. And then you look back and they are a little bit different. So it is fast for clouds, but not, in your opinion, unnatural, spooky magic fast. And these clouds are spiraling out slowly, like perfectly spirograph, thick tendrils. But you see a lot of flashes in this cloud formation. A lot.
We've seen times before when, and one of these we've heard, I think, when a ship or something's been brought through.
Intelligence check.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'm assuming Bowron doesn't see any of this because he's too busy
No,
gazing.
just look at this. Did you look at it? It's a whole container. It's all rum. This is rum.
Yeah, that's what I was
They
gonna say.
just bring
Bowron's
the
just looking
skeezer,
lovingly into the rum. He ain't
and
seeing
then
that
the skeezer
cloud.
just mix the more rum. I mean, Bowron,
Greatest.
of the many times you've been faced with some sort of choice or decision, you've never had a more existential moment than this. You're on a ship with, theoretically, infinite rum.
Well, at least you don't have to worry
You're
about me
having a
leaving the ship.
You're having a deep philosophical thought about the meaning of life right now. It's going in there. Okay.
The intelligence check, so that is a lot of lightning and clouds.
That's a lot of lightning, Fulcrum. That's a lot of cloud. It's still getting late. Lindell walks up. Captain, so are we to make landfall?
Oh no, not with all the creepy things on the beach. I think it's best that we all stay here on the boat.
Right, I was just
Yeah,
it sounds like right.
keep them in sight. Keep some distance.
Walks away.
Yeah.
Hey,
Somewhere our beach-
No, turn me off! I'll go right. No need. We go jump anchor.
So
Sorry,
Captain,
Caesar. Yeah.
well, not to alarm you, but that's not Morgaine.
Kind of like how that. Well, no, that is Ballroom now. Hi, Ballroom.
No, that's an illusion. Now I don't know if Morgaine has just taken a moment and he's figured out how to make illusions, because he has been doing some weird spells lately. But I am very certain something went up, and it's making sure that we don't know that that's not him.
Oh, I have a suggestion. Why don't you all just attack it ruthlessly for a little bit till one of them decides not to be Morgaine anymore? That sounds like a fantastic idea.
But it did work.
In the meantime, I'll be in here with my room. Just so you know which one's me.
Something does occur to me. Morgaine mentioned something just before we all kind of took our nap and went sailing, and I just forgot about it. But he said that you guys know Ampersand, right? My mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Is your mouse?
He said it talked to him.
Is it
okay.
Isn't it a familiar?
No. It's well. I mean,
Sort of. Kind of.
Wait, you've been carrying around this mouse the whole time, and it's not a familiar?
No, it's kind of an experiment that my dad made once just for fun and gave it to me. And
Your father made a mouse.
It's both. It's not just a mouse. It's also a bat.
A mouse with wings. It's a bat.
Yeah, it's kind of like a splice job. Kind of like me. I guess that's why I like it. But supposedly, Morgaine said it's not actually a mouse. It's my
Well, no, it's a bat.
uncle.
Wait, your uncle?
Yeah, I didn't get it at the time, and I was really worried about.
I thought you were one of those type of Mars, the half fiend, half celestial things. I didn't know you were half mouse.
No, not me. No. This, I don't know, but maybe that has something to do with it. Skeezer. That's the only thing I can think of.
Is Zampersand not with you?
No, he's been scared of me for a while.
Look around. I'm gonna call out an ampersand language. Hey, little buddy, ya around somewhere?
You see ampersand appears underneath the cloak shoulder on the opposite shoulder of the tattoo.
Oh, there he is.
You can feel him.
Oh, well, there we go. Problem solved. He's right there.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Like a good uncle, he's always there when you need him. There you go. Now that we've solved that issue, I'll go back to my room.
Good. If I give him a scritch, does he I'll go with my non-tattooed hand.
Mm-hmm.
Can I touch and scritch ampersand?
He's like.
Oh. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, you never know. There's a lot of things not making sense around here, but I mean, we are looking for an illusionist.
Fulcrum, give me a intelligence check. Save. Save.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be about the same. Oh, wait, no. Thank you, Cloak
Protection, for giving me a +1.
11.
Ooh.
So that's ampersand.
Yeah. Okay,
Well-
he's here. Okay, so maybe that has nothing to do with it then.
By the way, am I awake right now? Am I hearing any of this stuff? Am I peacefully resting?
You are peacefully resting, and next door you hear a lot of thunder. It's actually kind of nice and calming.
Good.
The sea movement's not so great, but the thunder reminds you of Cat and Gear. It's nice. You do hear a little bit of chatter next door, and it seems it's like that there is a discussion about what's coming next. And you vaguely overhear pieces of, "This is a bad idea, and I don't know why you all want answers. Answer is gonna mean answers are only gonna come from somebody powerful, and then that means we're all gonna die. And like the last time you got it was like, no, I understand, but didn't vanish for nothing. And what if he's there? What if we're gonna fight?" And he's like, "He's not gonna be there. He's just gone. And we're all gonna be." And so like there's a weird debate going back and forth next door that you're trying to drown out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Carry on then, my bad.
Well, it's definitely weird. I don't know what to do with this situation, but that's not a Morgaine up there, and somebody, maybe Morgaine, wants us to believe it is.
Okay.
Well, then just dispel it.
Seems like an awful waste of magic.
We should be cautious too. There's all those things off the shoreline.
Yeah, I did see all those over there, vaguely in the distance, very far in the water. These large aquatic men, fish people, like they look like illusion.
Like a burble?
No, and I illusion up what I think it looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon, if I'm not mistaken.
You didn't get
Like a
got a
silhouette.
nat 20, but what he presents to you, even with a nat 20 at that distance, what he presents to you is a black and white silhouetted form
Bigfoot.
of an aquatic finned, thick torso, thin limbed creature.
Yeah. Definitely not Waffen.
And the proportions, it doesn't look remotely Waffen. The head shape is incorrect.
Does it look like any of the things from the temple in my box?
Give me an intelligence check. And you've been drinking, so give me 2 of them because you have disadvantage.
Oh, shit. This is how he does his drunken recall, man. He learned facts while he was
Right.
drunk.
I guess a 9's not going to do it.
You know, No, maybe it doesn't matter.
I'm just curious.
Not that curious. I don't know. It's I haven't seen these before, I don't think. But there's a lot of them. They're going in the tunnels, and that storm doesn't look good either.
You know, should we get Kodo? He has that connection with storms, right? Maybe it does look bad. Do we need to do anything?
Yeah. You know, that's what you should probably do is go get the Dragonborn to tell you about the fucking storms. I'll just go back to bed.
This is not the first nor the last you've seen in the Everstorm. About, I think, on your way from Rocco Scrape, where you sort of crash landed, to Soraka Blaze, you guys went through a storm en route. That wasn't like smooth sailing. It's a lot of rain, as I recall. I set you up with. What's going on?
He's warming up for a scene. Yeah. Well, did you have anything to tell us about the mighty storms that we're seeing out here?
I don't know. Hadn't looked at them. I just assumed it was a storm until you just pointed something out. What are they doing?
It's it's a lot of lightning, and it appears Morgaine has ascended into the clouds, so that's kind of a weird sign.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess that's different.
And this is weird enough. I'm gonna go get Kodo, guys. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna go down and knock on his door.
Aye, Captain.
Hey,
Knock, 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 knock on your door.
You're gonna like peek ahead in. Kodo, sorry to
Go
wake you.
away.
Oh,
No, I'm just playing. I didn't have to check. Sorry.
yeah, sure. Like,
Oh man.
Sorry.
so, I know we just went through a whole "is it Balrin" thing, and
Is he back?
no, it's
It was literally this morning you guys did that.
Yep.
It's Morgaine now. He's up in the crow's nest, but Skeezer says he's definitely not up in the crow's nest. So, and the storms out here are getting pretty bad. And there's weird sea creatures that are all getting up on the island.
Okay.
Sorry, was it a nice nap?
No, the skeezers are next door complaining about how they don't want to go find this guy and find answers because they're worried they're all going to die. It's just a bunch of next door.
Kodo, intelligence check.
I'll do that for you.
It's just a bunch of, I don't want to die. I don't want to die either. I hope I don't die. Dying probably hurts.
It's a 16. Where's my sheet? I'm highly intelligent. Nope, I have a flat bonus. 16.
Kodo, now that you're sitting up, you're getting fragments. You vaguely were in a dream for a little bit. You were on the beach of some island with black pumice volcanic sand underneath you. Cold water was hitting you. Huh, you did dream, but you don't really remember how far in you got.
Everything okay?
Sorry. Yeah, just another dream.
Oh,
I think.
trust me, I get it.
Yeah. So
Hey,
we need to go
everybody
out and
there.
confront this
If you
other.
like D&D and you run games, dreams are like the only thing you can just always use to guide players. It's an old trope, but reliable.
Works like a charm.
Apologies, guys. There's only so creative I can be.
So you want me to go out there and confront this fake Morgaine? Is that what you
No,
need?
no. I mean, not necessarily. I just, value your opinion.
Okay. Okay, let's do this.
Thanks. And then we'll probably get some sleep, maybe, hopefully. If
Almost.
Frank doesn't kill us all.
Almost. Sea monsters, huh? Sea monsters, and you want us to sleep.
That too. Yeah. No, well, I mean, in shifts. Definitely in shifts.
The sea monsters are coming in shifts.
No, we should sleep in shifts so the sea monsters don't come in shifts.
How would not sleeping make them not come?
Well, we take warning. We wouldn't. They would still come. But I'm really trying hard to do this captain thing. I really am, Kodo.
Got you, Captain. I got your back.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Okay. All right, I step out of the shop on the deck there.
That's amazing.
Evening,
Kodo,
fellas.
you see that like from the center, which from your perspective is currently north and a hair east, which for the boat, based on your current angle, is port aft. So a little bit behind you, spiraling out across the sky. About a third of the sky is covered center, like a giant disc slowly spinning out. Thick black clouds, not like smoke, just angry storm clouds. Thick because that's how tall they truly are above where you cannot see. And lots of thunder, lots of lightning. Not terribly loud, but flickering all over the place. Give me a perception check. Yeah, we'll do perception check.
It does sound like Silent Hill. Not a good place to be. That's true.
Oh.
It's a 22.
17.
Anybody else can roll this if they want to, since I'm tossing out similar information that could be shared. Skeezer, Balrin, if you want to, go for it.
Come on, dice roller.
Tonight's perception check was brought to you by Blue Diamond Almonds Smokehouse.
Ooh. Gotta get you some.
Get you some.
Fulcrum, and what'd you get, Kodo, on your roll?
22.
22. Skeezer, you just see the storm clouds. Kodo and Fulcrum, you guys see... Oh, you see this as well, Bowern. You see that the lightning arcs kind of all over, but the more you're watching it, you're starting to see it is definitely a spiraling out tendril of cloud amongst the greater spiral that is pushing west. And you see the whole thing is lumping itself and reaching out west. You haven't seen a storm really do that. They all flow like water currents or air currents in a grand spiral. And sometimes it deviates, reaching out from center a little bit more than towards center. But this one seems to be pushing way out. You see little wisps of that one frond of cloud trying to pull back into the stream, but it's almost like spider threads, tiny little wisps of cloud. The majority keeps pushing out. Like when you see how a hurricane spins and starts to move on a track. And Balrin, you're the only one that catches this. Balrin, you've got your booze in your hand. You kind of look out because they're all looking at it, so why not? And you see really far and riding in the core of that tendril, 1, 2, 10, a dozen silhouetted, winged humanoids.
Nothing about the way this thing's moving and through the clouds reminds me of my close encounter with a sky mouth. Like of that, something that like moving through the clouds, does it?
No, that thing was pretty much like a great white shark moving through water. It was a giant, a train. It was a force. This is a storm. It's just, it's a little bit off what looks normal.
Got it.
Well, go on, Kodo. Tell them what you see.
Storm. I haven't seen one like this one before, I'd say.
Yeah, can't make head or tail of it here.
Looks concerning along with everything else that's happening right now.
But like I said, we've talked about this before. I don't think any of us are familiar with this area enough to say what any storm means.
If you had to guess, Kodo, like in the air, Balrin, you would be able to guess this too, without much effort. The two of you would have to estimate that this storm will be over the top of the ship. At least part of it will, as the whole thing keeps expanding, within about an hour or two, at the most.
I suppose none of you have keen enough eyes like me to see the silhouetted winged figures up there causing that storm to do that.
Did my 22 not see those?
It did not.
Okay.
No.
Alright, well, there's winged creatures up there. The storm will be here in about an hour by my guesstimation.
To be clear, as the storm is spreading across the sky, that thing moving west is moving... Hold on. Geometry. Orienteering. It is moving from your perspective... port aft across and going into the area behind you. So right now it's almost like it's sliding across the port side of the ship, and eventually the clouds will cover your ship. But if it maintains course, it doesn't appear to be heading for you.
Do you think any suggestions, Balron, where we might up anchor and sail a bit to avoid the storm, or is it going to get too big for us to be able to do that, you think?
Well, it's kind of going to hit behind us a bit, but it's probably going to cause enough waves to make sailing through it difficult either way.
So the rowboat's going to be a challenge, is what you're saying.
Well, I wasn't expecting us to beach tonight, especially with all those things getting up on the island now, but maybe they're sheltering because they know something we don't?
I don't know. Sounds like a good question for your first mate. I'll be back in my room.
So you say there's some sea creatures out here?
Air creatures.
Air creatures and sea creatures.
Sea creatures, right? Well, you said you had something
over
on the
on
island.
The shoreline. It's a bit far off, but Skeezer saw them.
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah, now we have sky ones, apparently, and that's where Morgaine seems to have gone. Into the sky.
You mean not Morgaine? And I point up at Morgaine.
No, that's the illusion, Morgaine. Somebody wants us to see.
Is this another ballroom trick?
I didn't do it.
I don't think we can say for sure, but I don't think probably not intentionally.
We miss it too, Lady Z.
Mm-hmm.
He may just be on some sort of excellent journey.
When you leave the game, you get to have an adventure.
I believe it's called Morgaine's Monumental Mansion.
And a dark secret, too.
And sometimes you come back without appendages.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes that happens.
Sure.
Sometimes you come back with extra appendages. Didn't you get your hand back?
Morgaine's losing a foot, y'all.
Didn't you grow your hand back, Balrin?
No, it turns out the trident had one sitting inside it the whole time. I didn't have any idea. I didn't grow anything back. The trident just makes one and attaches it to me.
The whole time.
I told him
The
I already
trident
got
does it,
one.
not me. Like, if I don't pull that trident, I can't grow a hand. Like, it doesn't happen. Like,
told them I already got one.
I've already got this. It's very nice.
Can we come see it? No, of course not.
So are we at all worried about the Morgaine up there? And what's...
Oh, well, there's a lot of things to be worried about at the moment, and that's definitely one of them.
Hey, Morgaine, come on down here, friend.
All right. He comes down the stairs. What's up? What's going on?
Skeezer says you're an illusion.
Yeah, watch this. And I just walk through them.
Okay. Everybody make a intelligence saving throw.
I assume I don't have to again?
You do not have to.
3.
15.
it's a 17 unless I'm still at disadvantage.
You're super drunk. Yeah.
Okay.
He
Disadvantage.
always sees double.
I just wanted to make sure. That's all. So 12.
Okay. Okay, hold on. So, what was Kodo's?
Thank you for hosting, Z-Bomb.
Thank you
3.
for hosting, Lady Z.
No. Z-Bomb.
No, that's Z Bomb. Okay.
Z-Bomb.
Z-Bomb.
There's 2 of them now. It's
The
tricky.
names.
I'm pretty sure they're both hosting,
Okay.
so thank them
So,
both.
thank you for the hosting, Z Bomb. So, yeah, everybody failed. You guys see Skeezer hit him, and he's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And then Skeezer's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and Skeezer even apologizes. He's like, "I guess I was wrong."
All right.
Back to now.
So it's all cleared up then.
Oh, no, there's Bill.
Skeezer, you pass through him. You see them look and say, "All right, I guess it's all cleared up then," and they seem fine.
Well, there you go, guys. He's an illusion.
What?
So,
I mean, Skeezer, you
I have to
Why
give you
would-
credit, Skeezer. Your illusions have gotten much better over time.
well, that is true.
well, that is true.
This was actually pretty impressive.
Pretty sure this isn't mine, but I'll take credit for it anyway.
You think your master made it?
That's a possibility, I suppose.
Yeah.
Hadn't really thought about that.
So is he going to make a whole bunch of more gains now?
Do we
More
all
and
get
more
a,
gains.
Can we get some? Can I get another Kodo? Could we have a couple more fulcrums maybe?
Oh, no more on me, please.
Well, okay. It's
Well, I'm
possible
glad
that
it's all
maybe
cleared up,
I've gone
so-
mad.
Are we just gonna are we anchoring here and sleeping again? Or we going up on shore?
Well, the plan was to anchor here, and because I didn't want to go up on shore with the creatures.
You guys see rain coming. It's coming in very thin and misty right now. Very cold. The rain that comes out of this is not the temperate, the waters of the Everstorm are cool. Occasionally they have warm currents. Right now you guys are in a cooler section of water, but this is cold rain. But right now it feels like walking through a mister at at a public event in July where they set up the mists, and only it's like a real chill hitting you. Skeezer, it is no bueno, Skeezer. You're a little.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this.
And your hair does not insulate.
Now, wait a minute. I thought otters naturally repelled water with their hair.
Well, Morgan,
Porcupines don't. I don't think. I don't know. The porcupines do awesome in the cold. I think
I'm pretty sure they hibernate in burrows for a reason.
Let's get it going. Well, if you guys seem to think that this is all in my head, then I will assume you are correct, and that it's I who am mistaken.
well, you just said you're sorry.
You did apologize, Skeezer. And also, with the storm coming in, can we have everybody get the ship ready to whatever we have to do, batten down the hatches, all that stuff?
Yeah, it's super cold out here. I'm gonna go inside.
Morgan, what's your plan? You going back up there? Or you staying down?
I should probably head in, but don't we need to keep an eye out for, the stuff out there in the water? I mean, if there's monsters, I should probably be up there taking a look,
No, we definitely need to keep a watch.
I don't know why you haven't seen one before now.
Hey. I'm a musician.
Just come on in with me. Just don't worry about it. Just come on inside.
All right.
Well, I was going to take first watch anyways. I'll wrap up out here. That's okay. I don't mind.
All right.
I want to walk down the stairs
Okay.
into the
It's a fair point.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to my hot tub.
You are down at the lower level. There is a level beneath that. Do you mean the hold or the lower deck?
I want to go as far down as I can, hoping to hit a range at which the spell stops functioning.
Okay. You go down to the lower hold. When you get down there, he falls. He's like, what are we doing down here?
Well, Captain told me that there was something I needed to pull up down here, and well, You see these little guys? Not sufficient.
All right. Yeah. No. What are we doing? What's
Well,
the plan?
Over there, and I'm going to walk to the furthest point I can find from where we
Give
were.
me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. Amazingly, a 3.
Okay.
How about that?
You bring him to the prow of the ship, and the extreme 4 of the hold, because that is the furthest point from the crow's nest that you can actually find down here.
Mhm.
And he's like, "All right, what is it?"
Well, well, he said it was down here, but I don't see it.
All right.
Okay, I'm satisfied. Let's go back up. We'll just tell him we did it.
You sure about that? Burl's gonna be like, I mean, if there's something we're supposed to do, we should do it.
Well, I don't know. I think he's a little just making up commands at this point.
All right. Well, whatever you guys want to do. I'm sorry. Sorry I couldn't help you out better, Skeezer. Hey, I got a new song. And he starts wandering with you. And it's got a nice little Stairway to Heaven beginning. Kind of very simple, almost like a mandolin kind of vibe. Airy, light.
Yep. Well, at that point, Skeezer will just
You watch. That'll be
leaves.
of all the things I've done. Ask Cam. That'll be the thing. He'll be like, "No, I wouldn't do
No.
Stairway." Like, that'll be the thing. He'll be like, "I wouldn't have said that."
Well,
It's like, hacky.
Yep. I guess at this point, Skeezer's just going to chalk it up to he's clearly the delusional one. Something weird's happening to him. Morgane's fine.
You just gotten in within proximity of the maker, so things just ain't working right.
All right. What's the plan? Who's doing what?
I'm out on first watch. Finishing my first watch, I guess, now still. And then once I'll do that, I'll go to bed.
Yeah. Aaron will go into trance if he hasn't. So
Okay.
I don't know exactly timing.
The rain comes in, and it comes in really hard. Lindell is scrabbling all over the place with Tolig. They have tarps thrown over them just to keep rain off them, and they're battening everything down and sealing it up so everybody can be remotely dry. And even when you try and come down, Lindell's yelling at me like, "We got this. You just keep an eye. I can't man a ballista. And look out for monsters if I'm battening down. So stay up there."
Good advice, Lindell. Well, yep.
So they seal everything up, and then you see Tolig has loaded every ballista, and then he keeps coming back to this one, and he's doing something to it. With your perception passive, you notice every time Lindell's not watching, Tolig is tying the butt end of a bolt to another bolt and sticking another bolt in. He's trying to create some sort of fragmentary shotgun shell ballista bolt. And you see he keeps spitting and grabbing chunks of his hair, ripping it out and tying it off at the end.
I believe in this dwarf. This. Yeah, no, I definitely believe in this dwarf. I don't say anything.
Now he tears a chunk of his clothes off, and you see he realizes the string won't quite fit, so he has to make like a slingshot end, and he packs it in the chunk of wood. You see he's like, "Oh,
I'm gonna slip over there for a second. I'm like, I'm good with string, Tolig. You need me to tie that off?"
Tell the little one to get ready, mother. Maybe I think I need us 2 minutes. Spread out.
I really want to see what happens when you fire it. So, no, it's between us. Can I help?
Oh, yeah, come.
Be right back.
All right. And otherwise, aside from helping with that, I will be keeping an eye on the shoreline and also around the just perimeter of the boat because these things are swimming and I don't want them to.
Go ahead and give me a perception check for your keeping a watch on the island and the things.
15.
All the perception checks. You see that the shining, rain-soaked forms bubbling out of the waters. There's so much rain, though. It's it's become very difficult to see more than about 70 yards off the prow of the ship. You do see occasionally a shimmer of a form fully break the shoreline and climb up onto a rock and act like a guard or an alpha. Oh, like in the same way meerkats do or groundhogs when they're on watch and keeping an eye on things as more move and they're covered. But beyond those occasional that pop up, and at the end of your watch, you've now denoted there's a landfall mark over there, and you were tracking another location way down the opposite side of the beach, port side of the ship. There's another one over there.
Okay.
So there's at least 2 land parties you can see, and you really have no idea what the numbers are.
That's a lot. Okay, I'll go wake up. I'm not sure who said second watch. We just said last game. I'll wake up one of the elves, Balrin.
Just wake up Skeezer. He doesn't care if you wake him up in the middle of the night.
No.
Interrupt the 8 hours right at the 4 mark. He loves that.
Having to sleep in the room with most of them. I think I've figured that out.
So you wake up an elf. Which one is it? Morgaine or
Balrin.
Okay.
I'll wake up Balrin. Balrin, my
That
watch
is incorrect. You don't wake up Bauer and he doesn't sleep.
Hey, Balrin, watch is up. You ready?
Oh, so my turn?
Yeah, they're all just sea creatures are still filing onto the beach. There's like at least a few points on there that they're getting up into it, but so far ignoring us. They're definitely keeping an eye out, though.
Well, all right. I'll go up and take a look.
All right. Wake me if you need anything. I'm gonna go see if I can't disturb any of the skis as I climb over them to my bunk.
All right. Bauer walks on out with his drink, stands on the deck.
You walk on, and the natural chaos of the Everstorm unfolds around you as you stand unfazed with the only thing that matters in your hand.
He takes a big stretch.
Kodo.
Yeah.
The waves hit you and a rush of cold. And you wake up like somebody splashed you in the bunk to wake you up. And your hand sinks into rough, gravelly, hard sand. That for a Dragonborn feels like how sand would feel for anybody else. Real sand for a Dragonborn would feel like walking on powder, like walking on flour or something like that. And you see as if you are partially submerged in very shallow water, like you're face down. Tracks that are to your right, about 30 feet, coming out of the shoreline, walking up to the beach. And you see on the beach a good, maybe a football field away, a dwarf that is kneeling, covered in like reptilian skins, facing 2 figures that have walked out of the surf. And even though you can see there's some sort of conversation going, you can hear the conversation as if it's right behind you. But you shouldn't be able to hear that. And it's got a little bit of a reverb to it, and it comes and it goes. But you get in Draconic,
loyal to the Father, the Dreamer welcomes you. Others have come and gone. None are strong enough.
and then he holds up his hands, and you see he's got something in his hands, and then you see both figures take it and hold it, and when they turn to look at each other, it's Labadagaz and Zerzig.
Can you say that again, by the way?
the two figures that take the objects out of the door.
What they said. I mean, sorry.
In Draconic.
Mm-hmm.
Loyal to their father, the dreamer welcomes you. Others have come and gone. None are strong enough.
Okay.
And then that's when. Now, what do you do?
I stand up and start walking towards them.
You see, from the angle of your approach with the rock formations, you're familiar with this landing. It is only about 20 yards away from a couple places where you've already made landfall in this dreamscape. And you also note you should be able to, from this angle, see Ralathe's smithy built into the cave entrance down the beach. It is not there, nor is the cave itself. In fact, multiple large rocks are in the path of where that cave should be. However, the giant cave at the top, towards the top of the pseudo baby mountain, is still there, was always there, has never changed.
Now, who did you say the two Dragonborn were that?
Libadagaz
and Zurzeg.
They're the ones that when you return to the crew and both ships, the Veil and the Grit, were traveling together, you openly attacked and accused them of having attempted to kill Vitrak and Ajo.
No, there it is. I just had to keep scrolling down my notes. Okay.
Uh-huh. And those are the two that when you started talking about the dreams, Vitrak told you that for whatever reason,
right,
that they weren't getting the dreams. And then later, I can check the notes, but the mage that occasionally messages you, that's from the Magicraft Guild, I think it's Kilris. I'm not sure though.
Yes, Kilris.
See, look at that. I don't know what next week's schedule is in my real life, but I do remember a Dragonborn's name that's only spoken to Kodo 3 times. Because priorities, people. Priorities.
Yeah.
Kilris, the last communication you knew of Labadagaz and Zurzeg, and I'm sorry we're getting very lore-divey here, but this is very Kodo-centric, y'all. Kilris told you that Labadagaz and Zurzeg, you had all successfully dropped them off in the colony, and you told the others to watch them because you didn't trust that they'd behave. Then Kilris notified you with a magical message, the spell, sending, that they had vanished. They're no longer in the colony.
Hey, thank you for the sub, Rachel. Much appreciated.
Rachel, I've met some Rachel.
Thank you.
You're the Rachest.
The Rachest.
That's right.
Righteous Rachel.
And so, that's who you see on the shore.
I walk up to confront them.
You start walking up, and as you do, your feet are starting to sink into the sand more so than before. Almost like it's quicksand. And it's the type of sand where you're in the surf, and as the surf pulls back, it erodes sand from around you and underneath your feet, so you start to sink in. And it keeps doing that. As it does so, you see she turns and looks in your general direction, holding this object. And you can see it's some sort of crystalline, glistening glass-like purple stone, about the size of a pineapple. It's actually pretty big. And she looks in your direction. She smiles at you. And then you hear thundering across the heavens.
Free me. or fail. You wake up. Fulcrum, you go to sleep.
Bedtime is always rough in this party.
You wake up. The moment you're out, comfy, you're trying to shake the stress of all these decisions. You're not sure of how many you're going to have to make. Try and clear your head. Ampersand curls up right here on your collarbone, and it is a nice respite. That there was one beautiful thing he made, and that thing is still here, and it still remembers just like you did. And you're in a chair, a nice upholstered chair, but it appears that the chair itself has a very finely woven knit upholstery to it that appears to be entirely gray. It's a very comfy chair. And you're looking across and you're inside the shack, the hut. At your feet, you see spilled around your feet an elaborate red robe inlaid with all these intricate little multicolored, but only 7 colors all the way up the thing. And you see the loom is not here. It should be. It takes up half the hut. It's huge. It's the size of a small car. It's not here. And you can see that sitting in a chair, maybe, big robe, huge fur collar, and hair in her face, but placid, calm, almost like a very old, wizened female elf that has held onto her beauty because elves. And yet, no pointed ears. You see 6, 7 robed arms. Big wizard-like robes, but the arms share robes. Setting tea in front of you. And you see a tiny plate of little scones. And she's just looking at you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. May I? Help myself slowly to the tea. But I have I kind of fumble around my pack. I've been working on what you gave me in my spare time. I have to say, I'm not finished with it. I had spoken to a friend of mine, and I think he finished it. He's a lot smarter than me. But I felt like I had to do this on my own, like I did the last one. So, and I also decided that it would be very unwise to lie to you for any reason. So, I'm not.
Lies have their place, Fulcrum. Something is hidden from me about you. It's interesting. But give me your answer because I am running out of time.
Oh. In that case, kind of go through my notes and suppose I'll just have to take my best guess.
I'll go ahead and say that the owner of the hook is the perfect woman, and we'll leave it at that. Consequently, beautiful man.
Fulgrim, all I will say is integrity, self-reliance is a fool's errand. If you have tools at your disposal, use them. You will still get what you want. We have to purge you of these foolishness. I believe, and then she sips a cup, you are owed 7. Yes, 7 questions. Giant thunder. Fulcrum, you are immediately woken up. I missed the mark by 2 minutes.
Oh.
At the time of 11:11 p.m. on July 11th of Game 11, you guys see the storm has poured far to the west. The giant thunder you hear is louder than you've heard before, but you've heard all night. And Balrin, you've been on watch, the thunder receding into the west. And yet the thunder you hear is louder than when the storm was at its closest. The storm now covers the sky, and you're all getting rain everywhere, but the thunder itself and the lightning is very far away. You have no lightning strikes occurring anywhere near you. And yet, Balrin, behind you, you see forming in the sky to the far west a funnel cloud. And out of that funnel cloud spins lightning partially spiral arcing around the funnel cloud itself.
Oh, shit. Well, that can't be.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, yes. Wait, I wonder if my dice capture is working yet. Let's see. Oh, yeah, yep, it's there. Look at that. Look at that lovely number, folks.
Perfect.
Nat one.
So, Balrin, you sort of wander over to the deck railing to take a look behind along the port side. You don't get a great look at it. Too much water in your eyes. You climb, you stumble up to Burl's perch to sort of look over the back. And as you're taking a good look at it, all you see is and you see a giant arc of red lightning like a waterfall, like a drill bit, rocket out of the sky over the west and make landfall. And amidst all the rain, you see explosions occurring on whatever it hit. And it's so bright, it actually leaves an after image burn on your retina for a couple seconds.
Oh, fuck. Balrin kind of stumbles his way back to the cabins and...
Skeezer, give me a check to try and stay asleep so you don't lose your spell slots.
This is my favorite roll. What is this roll?
We'll call it like a constitution.
At least I'm good at those. 21.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
That's ambition.
It's a good thing you were taught that in that class you've never been to and the school that you never attended.
Maybe he's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Thank you.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Balrin is up checking this
Speaking
out.
of lightning, by the way.
Fulcrum, you are woken by that lightning strike, and Kodo, it's undeniable that this would wake you.
Hey, speaking of lightning, literally just had lightning and thunder just rolled through town. It was awesome.
Yeah!
My scene is set right now. Yeah.
Thunder. Thunder. I was down. Sorry.
I'm gonna burst onto the deck. Balrin, what's going on?
You come out just in time to see arcing lightning around a funnel. No, a single thick bolt that has to be unnaturally wide. You can't tell how wide because it's so bright. But whatever it is, it's still arcing. It looks like a focused beam of chain lightning.
I didn't do that one.
Do we have it's having
whatever
direction?
It is to the far, far west beyond the horizon.
West. Like pulling up what maps we have and Fulcrum going through his packs. Like, I don't know what's happening over there, but
now that you're out here, Fulcrum, go ahead and give me a perception check since you're looking.
I get up since I've been kicked out of my dream and walk out. Try to find out what's going on.
It's an 11.
Kodo, you've never seen the father's rage so strong. And you've never seen it focused at one point so precisely.
Only an 11.
Fulcrum, you have no idea. Kodo, perception check.
Let me see my bonuses.
Come on, everyone. Botch.
I want everybody to get
all the way
a
around
one.
the table.
Everybody to get a one.
Hey, I have an 8 bonus, so a 10.
You have no idea.
Damn.
Father's not happy.
You sure that's him? I mean,
Well, I just woke from a dream. And in the dream were a few old friends, Labatagaz and Zerzig. The ones we locked up a while back for being,
I remember them.
evil bastards.
So what they are with the wing figures that were maybe over? Is like where Balron said he saw winged figures? Does it look like where the lightning's like shooting out? If it was about that spot, or probably not. Oh, sorry, Levi.
He stopped listening to you.
All right. I was checking chat because there's like a who is who going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to know if the area the lightning was shooting out of was the same type of area that Ballroom pointed out earlier. You saw winged figures flying and that none of us saw.
No, it is past that and further to the west. And the area that Balron did point to, and you check from land masses to pinpoint the sky chunk he pointed to, is now the same type of storm you have now. And the storm clouds in that area are not quite the same.
Okay.
The storm you guys are looking at above has the normal Everstorm spiral. But way off in the distance, it's like a second spiral has formed. Like when a hurricane breaks into two. And a hurricane will make a smaller tropical storm spin off the main spin.
Big map where?
I don't care who you are.
There it is.
98
where
degrees,
you're
guy.
from, what you
Cam is
long as you
98
love
degrees, guy.
Can you quote that,
Can
please?
you quote that real quick, please?
Yeah, I don't
We
even
need
know.
that one to live on in infamy forever.
Yeah. Where is 98 degrees guy?
You gotta quote Rachel, where is 98 degrees?
Where is
guy?
98 degrees guy?
Oh, it's so
And
funny.
then put Cam in parentheses next to it. So
Okay,
that it's
Rachel, the reason this is excellent is because Cam does not care for boy bands. And that's
not
why
at all.
it is fucking tastic that you said that. We don't deny he looks like him. Do you mean Nick Lachey?
That's the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what everybody says. Yeah,
It's been referenced many, many times. There it is.
there it is. The quote
you're
is
not the
there.
first. That's the best
That's
part.
number 100. That is our 100th quote.
Yes.
Nice. That is amazing. Well done,
You know
Ray.
what? You know what? We're living the dream here on Everstorm, everybody, but it's not every day you get a milestone like quote 100 being your friend looking like a boy band. That's Fulcrum is the try guys on YouTube.
Nice.
That's fantastic. All right. Skeezer's out. You all are sort of on the aft of the ship, that triple tier high aft deck beyond Burl's seat, watching this insanity. It is red lightning. It is violent, arcing, angry. It has little bits that fly off, but it does have a main pillar that seems to charge up and then hammer again. You guys lose track of the amount of strikes that occur in about a 8 to 10 minute period. And then it lets off, and then you see arcs like normal lightning, but also red, still occurring. And you see a giant cloud of who knows that has built up from the strike site.
This is happening way further west than we've ever sailed, right?
You've never been there.
Yeah. I don't even want to know what's happening over there or why. Wow.
Hard to say.
He stopped
It
staring at it.
could be a few different things.
Give me Balrin as you look in that general direction and the lightning fades away. And the lightning allows your eye to readjust and see better. And once that burn from your retinas is fading away, and all of you have that little retinal burn from like when you stare at like an arc in a welder, or when you look at the sun for like even a second. As it fades away, Balrin, you're like, damn it, my eyes. And you rub, and a single part of that doesn't leave. It's almost like you got that little retinal burn, and then you realize, no, what you're looking at is not retinal burn, it's the star.
Oh, that's
and the lightning strikes are exactly centered on the star.
Oh, fuck. Well, that's no good.
What? Something wrong, Balrin?
That star I told you about.
Yeah?
That's where the lightning is focused.
Oh, that's like a representation of one of your gods or something, right?
Like somebody pissed Oros off. I guess that's what happens when you try to kill a god.
Do you think that's what they just tried to do?
Well, somebody tried to.
Oh man, Cam really does look like Nick Lachey.
I was like, I don't even know who this guy is. And I looked him up, I was like, that's him. Yep. That's definitely him.
That's great.
David
Next
Wallace.
week on
Wow,
Everstorm, I'm going to take over all of his music and play nothing but 98 Degrees.
Oh no! Yes. Yes.
Be like, all right, guys, don't clip this when Twitch is gonna ban us. But we're playing 98 Degrees all night.
We get sued.
Oh, Clint looks like David Wallace from The Office.
Who is David Wallace? I don't know who that is.
Did you ever watch The Office? Hey, he's back. Did you ever watch The Office, Clint?
No.
Okay. Steve Carell's boss is an actor that's a character actor. Just look up David Wallace from The Office. I don't know that character actor's real name, but he was on Avenue 5, which is awesome, everybody. If you have HBO, watch Avenue 5.
I can see it.
Wait.
I feel like Clint
facial hair.
older, kind of. Like Clint's uncle. That guy looks like an uncle that we have.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I don't know what to do about that, other than be glad that it's not us.
Well, I could tell you my dragon's pretty angry right now.
You think he was doing that? So wait, is your dragon then fighting Balrin's god?
I don't think he's fighting. But this last time he did say, free me or die. So, there's
You
that.
got that going for you.
Yeah.
Well, that can't be good for whatever is at the bottom of those lightning strikes, but I mean, fortunately, it's not the direction we're going.
I'm
But
Levi, and Balrin the pirate is Dustin.
Mm-hmm. Some
Well,
point, they'll try
what
and
takes
stop.
precedent? This island or that lightning storm?
Well, that's pretty far off.
the good thing about gods is they frequently go anywhere very quickly. Suppose we should go ahead to the island as planned. It'd probably be a good idea to get off the water anyway.
I guess. Well, we should let the skeezer finish sleeping first, and I probably could use a little bit more myself, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it.
You only need a short rest, you're a warlock.
That's right. That's right.
Well, for spells, yes. For everything else.
I mean, do they all have to sleep?
Do warlocks have to sleep?
I mean, if I'm not an elf, yes.
I meant the other skeezers.
There might be an invocation that lets you not sleep. I wouldn't be
We have
surprised.
a hive mind. We sleep in shifts.
Wait,
Sleep in shifts.
there is an invocation that lets you not sleep.
It's like Sense8. You're all the same person.
Oh, man. What a shit show.
I guess I wasn't.
He's on tour with 98 to go.
He's on tour. Yes. Cam is gonna hate you all so much when he doesn't read the chat when he gets back.
Oh,
Yeah, they won't have any idea.
I have no clue.
No idea.
Nope.
No idea.
It's impossible for him to find out this
I don't.
occurred.
Does he rewatch old episodes that he missed? I don't think he
I
does.
doubt it. But if he
I
did,
doubt
he
he would.
definitely
He
would
doesn't
not
watch
read
the
chat.
episodes he's in, let alone. Wait, are we actually playing right now? Really? Are we done?
Oh, Cam. Okay.
He has 2 screens now. He doesn't know how to hook the second one up yet. But he's got 2 screens.
It just sits there by the computer.
I
looking
can't
like
make
a
fun of
screen.
him. I also have a second screen that I can't use because I don't have the right, I don't even have a video card. So I only have one port and it's tied to my motherboard. So I'm just potatoing it up over here. All right. So the consensus is, does anybody have anything else they want to do tonight? Or are we going into shifts and sleep again?
Finish sleeping and scope out the island in the morning, I think is the plan.
Okay.
Hopefully there's not sea creatures everywhere. Maybe they leave.
You all go to sleep. Fulcrum, you have dreams, like normal dreams. You're not on the island. Nothing strange. Your dreams, this particular flavor, are the first time Tack got you out. And the first night that you guys tasted actual freedom. Not one of the many games where freedom was an illusion and it was all some sort of performance piece. And it's the first time Tack has wandered into your mind in a long time. You guys all wake up, the shifts go clean for the rest of the night, and when morning comes, the rain hasn't left. The storm is still there. The sky is gray, but not dark. So the sun is trying to pierce, and occasionally you get some holes where a fragment of sunlight along the vast panoramic view you guys have of everything will pierce the clouds, and you'll see a shaft of sunlight hit the water. And then it kind of closes back up again. You guys have a constant stream of steady rain, but I wouldn't call it hard rain. And the water is choppy this morning. It is not good. It is cranky. Kodo, you wake up feeling a little sick. Skeezer and Fulcrum, go ahead and give me a Constitution save.
Good old seasickness.
Oh, yay.
Valorn, don't worry about it.
A 2.
Then how's that low?
Okay, you guys make it, and you're fine, but you're just a little uneasy. You have to steady yourself along the wall, take a deep breath, and start to shake it loose. Kodo, you don't feel good for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes while you're sort of stepping out of bed, and it's a little slower to get to the deck to meet with everybody, but you managed to pull it off.
Okay.
Well, then, love a lot of you.
I don't know. I feel pretty good. Slept pretty well. Had a weird dream though. Somebody was saying the wrong answer to something I knew. I just couldn't get my words out to him. Oh well. I don't know what that was all about.
Well, I only recently had my first dream, and I don't even think it was my own. I think you can all keep your dreams. I have no interest in sleeping.
Well,
Probably not a normal dream that I dragged you into, I hope.
it was pretty weird. So what's going on out here? Looks jumpy.
Yeah, how's the island shoreline looking when I kind of peek out, see if we have a spyglass or anything we could see the shoreline with?
Let's do another round of perception checks.
Oh shit.
do
I
have
have rolled
ambient sunlight.
4 3s tonight. 11.
Oh.
10.
9.
But if I have a passive perception, doesn't that count?
A passive perception.
If my passive perception's 18?
Yeah,
that
you could
count
just
for
sit
anything?
on that if you want to.
Yeah.
I will happily do passives as a take 10 if you want to choose to do that, because that's the point of having them in the first place,
Mhm.
besides being a quote unquote defense against stealth.
Sure.
So you can sit on your passive if you want to. Skeezer, you have you see the shore. You couldn't see it last night, Skeezer. You don't see much on it. Balrin, I don't know, this you know what? Magic should just make rum more often. Like this, why hasn't that been a thing? Like this could be a business or not, or and then rum ideas just kind of trickle through your mind. He says that too, just out of context, just by himself. Fulcrum, you catch him, he's just like, the rum. Just standing there, staring at the beach. Kodo, you see a lot of knocked aside rocks and some of those like strange sparse trees that remind you of the Katangir Highlands, where the trees are very squat. It's not uncommon for a tall dragonborn to be taller than those trees. And those trees have very tiny leaves. So you could, it's almost reminds you of like an olive tree. Little, not very thick, but crazy old. And you see a lot of these trees up around the rock. Some of them are ripped in half and missing leaves, and you start noticing bodies. You see 1, 2, 3, and these things are gross. They are, first off, you can see carrion, like insect, beetle-looking things chowing on one of them right now. It looks like a little moving swarm. It takes you a while to piece together what you're even looking at there. And they have long spindly arms and big back fins that are all collapsed on their dead bodies. But you see at least 3 on the beach you're facing. You do not see masses of them pouring out of the water this morning.
Are these creatures and what you were trying to describe last night, Fulcrum?
Well, I mean, was trying to tell Skeezer was one who saw them. But
you told me the sea monsters, right? Is this what you were talking about?
are you seeing anything? It's really far.
The beetle-like things feasting on the trees on the shore.
They were like big humanoid-like things. Skeezer made a little image of it. They had like weird spindly arms, and they didn't look like Wavins, but they were big, right, Skeezer?
Yeah, they looked like.
And he punches up a vague silhouette that could be what you're looking at. And it's actually his image is the color is so subdued and there's so much shadow, it's almost a black and white image.
Enhance.
It's definitely low res.
Enhance.
Low res Skeezer.
Zooms in again.
Enhance.
It doesn't read up. Sorry, that's not a real thing.
He keeps enhancing for you, and the bad pixels just get bigger.
That's not how it works. I've seen the crime shows.
You enhance so much that now the shape of the fin is now a jagged geometric line of single pixels.
Beautiful.
Your illusions are pixels. That's interesting.
Deep down, all of us are.
That's going to become a real thing here in the next couple thousand years.
Deep down, that's like Skeezer 101 right there. Yep. Deep down, all of us are pixels.
It's a shit movie.
Well, I suppose that could be.
Ray just wants your shirt, Fulcrum.
I love the shirt.
Hey, Rachel, I'm sure for a modest donation, he'll give it to you.
He'll take it off right now. Where are we going to box?
Money here. We're just sell out.
No, I'll figure out a way to direct you to where it's.
Speaking of which, I'm still holding on to this Pathfinder 2 core book. We have yet to reach our sub goal of 9,000 on YouTube. I would even go as low as 200.
200.
You would go
right.
What are you?
So if we get 200 subscribers,
9,000 subs to 200.
Hey,
that's
today
crazy.
and today only. Yeah.
Listen, Rachel.
If you
we
were
I
now,
dare say that you didn't want Tim's actual shirt.
Clinton Gale is a wonderful guy with a heart as pure as gold.
But we're sure. But we're pretty sure that for a donation, Tim will just send it to you. Like
for a donation, we'll just buy one on Amazon and send it to you.
Yeah.
We need to make a sub goal for Cam to a cappella sing a 98 Degrees song.
Hey guys, how about the next convention we finally get to go to? We all show up in our shirts, and he has to wear a Nick Lachey bust on his shirt.
He will never do it. Oh my god!
We gotta make that a goal.
He will. He would never do
says,
it.
"Do I look like?" People have to go by and say yes to it.
Oh, Air, how much we got to donate to get Cam a 98 Degrees song? Okay, I am speaking for a man that would be dead set against this. So let us work on this project, the 98 Decams, and we'll try and figure this one out.
That's amazing.
98 cams. 98 Decams.
I don't even know a 98 Degrees song, to be honest.
Actually, no, I don't think
I just know in one of their videos they wore fucked up looking motocross body armor and it looked really dumb.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, we did Tool on a Bardic Knowledge. I don't know why Cam just doesn't do a 98 Degrees song next.
Yeah.
When he's on next week. I mean, you can wait, right, Air Laser? I mean, he's only got your commission. Like he's only like a month past the deadline, so right? I mean,
wow, the Cam hate is real today.
She would pay for a shirt that just says "I'm Nick Lachey." It says TTPKB. Cam's picture says "I'm Nick Lachey." That's all it says.
I'll try to remember to just change his nameplate at next Everstorm, so instead of saying Morgaine, it'll say Nick Lachey.
Oh, don't tell him.
And he won't
None of us
know.
tell him.
notice.
We'll just
He'll
run
never
all night.
notice.
Yeah.
He won't even look.
Yep.
We'll see how
Oh
many
my
game
God.
sessions it'll take before he sees it.
I was gonna say what we
That
need is an office
bad.
pool on how long it takes him to notice. We need an office pool on that.
I'm going to say never. I'm going to say it'll take the chat hinting to him in weird ways. He's like, why does everybody keep talking about 98 degrees before he even notices?
It wouldn't be till our like 1 o'clock break. We
Yeah,
come back.
seriously.
Hey,
Seriously.
wait a minute.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
And Levi would have to like start slipping 98 degrees into normal Everstorm lingo.
Guys,
He'd
it
be
is,
like,
it's
"So
really
we're
warm out.
You look out and it's like 98
hot.
degrees west from where
It's so hot. Guys, it's not hot. It's just balmy, like when it's so close to body temperature. It's like I wouldn't say 100. It's like 98 degrees outside right now. And it can be like, oh, yuck.
we have to see, like do some research in the meantime and see how many 98 degrees lyrics and like song titles we can slip into
Oh my
into the
God.
chat until like Cameron picks up on it.
We should do that on Bardic Knowledge. Just start dropping 98 degrees references. Oh, man.
This is why
This-
Cam can't miss game.
Yeah, we don't get anywhere. We just 98 degrees.
For 98 degrees.
This is great, though. This is quality.
This is amazing.
All right. What do you guys want to do?
We kill
We're
it.
there.
Well, we are, I guess, going to brave the choppy waters and go to the beach, Skeezer. Do you want to investigate this island?
Oh yeah, let's get in the tunnels.
Should so is we're all coming Morgaine too? Where is Morgaine up?
Yeah.
Checks out.
Oh, hey,
Real guy.
we're gonna head out to.
All right.
Okay, great. I can only make 4 of us invisible, but if you think we need to sneak up, though it would look weird with us coming in the boat. I can't make the boat invisible.
An
rowboat.
invisible ghost boat rowing itself.
Well, all but one of us. So, yeah.
Yeah, probably not go particularly well with it.
So
Let's
where
just
you go? Well, you do remember there's those flying beetle men eating the trees over there.
Beetle men.
Choking
So
on my
you see-
nuts. I can't do the voice with nuts in my mouth.
Truer words. No.
Sorry about that.
Animal G, can we get that one added to the quotes while we're at it? I can't do the voice with nuts in my mouth. Could you get that one?
Essentially, it was can't do the Kodo voice while choking on nuts in my mouth. I think is what he said.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. So yeah,
Yeah, we'll just load up the skiff and hit up the shoreline. Hopefully not get eaten by beetle men.
Well, wouldn't be
All
the
right.
first time.
There's beetle men?
there we go. Those 3 right there. I try to point to those 3 right there.
You guys hop in the boat and start heading towards the shoreline.
Do they see him once I point him out?
Yeah, they see it once he's pointing out. You guys, correct. You see movement on a body, and it looks like bugs, maybe roaches, maybe beetles,
Like
eating a corpse.
man-sized or bug-sized bugs?
Large but bugs.
Okay.
Like bigger than a you couldn't see a beetle from the yeah. So these things are easily the size of like a softball or
Are big
like a
bugs.
basketball. Like they're big,
Ugh.
but they're not, humanoid size. That's a beetle of a different color. That's, you guys pull it up into the surf in your guesstimate a safe distance from the body that is actively being consumed. You guys are 50 yards away from it. The whole time that you're pulling in, Morgaine is just strumming along while you guys are rowing. And then as you start getting within about 40 yards of pulling up into the sand, he draws an arrow and then holds it on that formation and a body, and he just keeps sort of scanning the entire beach line. We're all clear. I don't see anything, guys. I think we're good.
That is the
Good
most
to me.
convincing part of this illusion yet.
Good to me, guys. And so, you guys pull up in the sand. Kodo, thank God you can get off this fucking boat.
The best part about Morgaine is he's probably actually able to see, but he puts the bow right in front of what he's looking at. No, nothing there. No.
He gives himself a blind spot. With
Oh, shit.
They're
All right,
called
we're on the
yachts,
beach.
Air. They're called yachts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go.
Okay, well,
You guys are on the beach. Now you are down the way from one that's being consumed, but only about 40 feet away from you is a body that doesn't seem to be consumed. That at first you thought was like underbrush, but now that you're here, you can see the like pale glisten of wet skin coated in sand. And when you guys get within sight, you see one of these.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
That looks like a fun guy.
Ooh.
Balrin. This thing is all
I
too
like his name.
familiar.
Look at
I
this
know
guy.
these fucking things.
Is this
Bob.
the-
These are the things that took my fucking hand.
See ugly.
What?
Yeah, these are the creatures that fucking cut my hand off.
Wait, you know this guy?
I don't know if I know this one, but this one's just like it.
This is the corpse we're looking at, are these things?
Yep.
So I guess these are what were all on the island this last
This one is missing a leg. You can't tell how the other two died from where you are. But what is a little upsetting looking at this guy is that it doesn't have a head per se. Right behind the eyes are the shoulders. There is no neck. And the lower stomach is a mouth. So its face is its torso.
I should warn you. When I found these things the first time, they all appeared as mermaids.
Oh.
So they can shapeshift to some degree.
Well, fascinating.
So did anyone on the ship during one of the watches see them all start fighting on the shoreline? What happened here?
There was a lot of lightning. I think so. Woke up a little bit in the middle of the night. So a really loud lightning burst.
Are there any what color do these things bleed? Does it look like, or can we tell?
Their blood is a translucent blue. It's like a navy blue. It actually looks like watered down ink, or like but it has a viscosity to it that's thicker than blood.
So once we've identified that as their blood, is there? I know there's the tunnel entrances all over. Is there any kind of blood splatter or trail that leads towards one nearby, or are these things?
Yes.
Right here. Oh, well.
Yes, there is. You see a number. You see like a trail. Now that you know what to look for, as you guys are looking around, you spend about half an hour poking around on this beach and looking for more of that, because this stuff actually kind of sits like a gel on the sand, and it sinks in a little bit. It's almost like somebody poured out oil, except it's a little bit transparent. And you eventually see a slick of it moving up through brush in an area that has had trees and rocks knocked aside. And it's almost like a drag strip of this stuff going into a tunnel. And that's where you see like parts of these discarded.
You think it was something ate them?
Well, good it is.
I'm not really good at looking at what killed things, but does it look like it's got bite marks on some of these, or is it? You're just missing limbs.
Well, I brought something just for the occasion.
What do you got?
We all just stare at Baller, and he's like,
Yeah, it's like
walks away like nothing happened. Why are you guys looking at me?
I happen to take this spell today for the hell of it.
Takes an hour to cast.
And you need 1,000 gold.
Reincarnate.
I have reincarnate.
Are you going to do it to one of these?
I was considering.
1,000 gold piece gem?
The 1,000, or no, rare oils or...
I don't know what a unguent technically is, but I know I've got a lot of gold.
He does. Got a lot of gold.
And an unguent is like a pomade, or it's like a tacky, thicker than oil. Isn't
Solid perfume, like yeah.
Like I would say like polysporin and all those are more like an unguent.
Okay, well,
Like a clear, tacky kind of lotion.
I've got I'm looking at my inventory list.
If you're willing to spend the cash amount, I'm okay with this going.
Yeah, I'll spend 1,000 gold.
Okay, I'll drop 1,000. All right, go ahead and roll a D100.
He's only mostly dead.
All right, so let's set up a little camp here for an hour. And,
That's 27.
Of course, you'd bring him back.
It's
Dark Elf.
Bring Brooks a freaking dark elf.
It's a
Wow.
dark elf.
Come on.
Okay. You guys are setting up. Balrin sits down over this body.
so this is going to take an hour to do. I'm going to turn the Balrin and the rest of us invisible, and I know Morgane's stealthy, and we'll just sit here for an hour, and we'll short rest
Yeah,
for this
while
hour.
Balrin's doing that, I'm going to make coffee.
Okay.
So everyone but Morgane's invisible. I'll let him do his elf stealth thing. And,
Okay.
short rest during this time.
Put the dome on us, I guess, because it only takes
All
me
right.
10 minutes to cast that, just so we're extra protected.
He's
Be right
sitting
back.
over. He's passing his hands over his arms, crossing. He mixes the unguent over it and has to smear it over part of the body. You see it start to sizzle, little bits of green tendrils of energy up into his hands, and then Balrin breathes it in. And then you see it flow back out of Balrin and sit over the body. And then he has to mutter, and you're not sure what language it is. It sounds like half elf and half another language, but you're not sure. He's jumping back and forth between it. And the old one sounds very staccato and mumbly, and it's tough to tell what it even is. As he goes through this, he has to sit, and you hear him slow humming for a while, to the point that it becomes an ambient white noise. And that's when, give me a perception check, Fulcrum and Skeezer.
Perception.
Unless you want to sit on, you could sit on passive if you don't want to roll.
Well, I'll take the roll. And it's one better, 17.
Mine is 4 worse.
Fulcrum, you notice that Skeezer's bag has tiny butterflies flying, like swarming at the corner of his bag and starting to take flight and leave the dome.
Get up and Skeezer? Okay.
When they hit the dome wall, they dissipate into nothing.
It's like a
So
butter-
then some of them are starting to crawl on it. He's got about 6 that have left his bag.
You've got a butterfly situation coming out of your
Butterfly situation. I haven't had one of those in many years. Hold on a second. What do you mean butterfly situation?
Well, they're sorry, this is hard where we're all invisible.
You see it now, Skeezer. Now he's pointing it out.
Have I ever seen these butterflies before?
You have.
I have?
Yeah,
Maybe I've forgotten about this.
you probably have.
All right.
Ooh, I might have changed
I might have changed the species on you from the last time something like this happened. But you see that your backpack has butterflies trying to leave it.
Got it.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember this. Hold on. Hey, little buddy. Open the book up.
And
last time it was spiders, but this time it's butterflies.
That's true. And as you open it, 30 of the book appear in the dome with you.
Oh, hey there.
And they all pour out of your hands and flop down on the ground. And then some of them start floating up. And then another start floating up. Now about 2/3 of them are floating about a foot off the ground. You are holding at least 8.
So what's this all about then? Paradox, we're on an island. We're getting closer to where we think we're going to find your papa. And you're acting a little strange.
All of them write in all caps. And Fulcrum, you see this. And Kodo, you see this. And Balrin's very busy, despite his keen elven eyes, to see this. It says in all caps in common, "You're not my dad."
Right.
And then it casts at him. And I gotta figure out what to shoot at his face.
Yeah, right here, laser. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a bowling ball. Absolutely.
Casting at him. He is invisible.
It's a magical book without eyes.
That's true. Probably got blind
If you
sight.
cast magic missile, probably doesn't matter. I think it's fine.
That's true.
It doesn't have to
Unless
roll.
it's targeted the darkness, then that's kind of what it doesn't do.
Yeah, it's not a good idea throwing it there. We have any Mountain Dew?
Oh, only if you put Doritos in them.
Mm.
Ugh, caustic stew.
Just a fire in the gut that only punishes.
Yes.
It does not bring any joy. It brings joy to no one. All right.
Let's run an Arcana check.
Okay.
Just so when you figure out what you're casting, if I may figure out what it is to determine if I want to counterspell.
It's Phantasmal Killer.
Phantasmal Killer? That sounds like an important one to counter. Level is that one? That's a
4.
It's a 4th level spell, huh? All right. I will upcast using a 4th level slot, I guess, to dispel or to counterspell that.
Your book will counterspell your counterspell. So you are doing a 4th level slot.
Yep.
So that's DC of 14. And I've countered your counter. Give me a wisdom save.
Public roll, advantage, yes. Okay. And bam. Wow. That is the most polar opposite amazing time to have advantage ever.
Botch nat 20. How hilarious is that?
Now, look here, Mr. Book. I will have none of this sass from you.
All right. You feel this thing assault you from multiple angles and trying to reach in and start pulling at the corners of your memory palace where you keep the things that scare you. And then you slam all those doors and then put up purple shiny locks on all of them.
Now, look, I've done what I said I was going to do. Told you I'd bring you here, and you're trying to kill me.
Give me a concentration check to maintain the dome.
$15.
Okay. Let me go. All caps.
Oh, you're sort of floating around there just fine. Where are you trying to go? Outside of the dome?
Yes.
Like where? Where? Like all these fleshy, destructive things? Are here? Is it here?
Yes.
How far? I'll take you.
No. Let me go. You said you'd take me home, but I'm still in a bag. All these are being read. You guys can, for the first time, you're seeing the book does talk in text. And you guys see all around here. Now, there's books floating around. They're writing on themselves.
So the weird part about this is this book seems to be the headmistress spell book. He's been looking for it for his master, and up until like recently, I thought that was a good idea to just bring his book back to him. And now I'm not so sure. But we're here. I did promise him.
If it is here and it knows it's here and it's an island full of really confusing tunnels, what if we let it go and follow it? But is Balrin done?
I don't think he is.
Balrin has concluded, and you see the sand just outside the dome disturbs, and a dark elf pops up, a male dark elf coughing up sand. And he gets up and he looks thoroughly confused and sort of stumbling around. And he looks down. He's like, no. And he's like looking at his body and the sky. And he sees the dome. And then he sees like the bodies. Is the dome transparent, Skeezer?
Is he inside the dome with us?
He is not.
Then no.
Corpse is inside the dome. He is not inside the dome.
Oh, well then he wouldn't see inside
the way reincarnation works is the corpse stays and a new you arrives.
Oh, well that's interesting. Well then, no, the dome would not be transparent. I've historically made it opaque.
Okay. He scrambles over to one of the other bodies. He's digging through the sand, and you see he pulls out a busted trident, and he's like, he's armed himself.
Well, this got complicated.
Balrin, what happened? We got books and what's going on?
Well, did you make another elf?
Actually, yes, I did. Now we can get some answers.
Fair enough.
Do you want to let your book go, Skeezer?
Well, is that what you think is a wise decision?
I didn't know it talked until right now.
Well, I tell you what, I am a man of my word. Told you I'd get you here. Good luck. I'll see you soon.
And do you allow it to leave without dropping the dome? I assume that's what you would want.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, all the books float up and form a flock of books that all
please don't kill me later.
And then once they get up about 50 feet in the sky, they all split into completely separate destinations.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, I mean, maybe something good will happen for that.
Well, one of those is the real one. They've done a very good job of misdirecting us.
Well, at least we know it's this island.
Do we?
Know about this elf?
The hell is that?
Should I walk out there, or Balrin, do you want to do that?
I'll go. I pull my trident and I walk outside the dome. Say to him, "Hello there, friend."
Just a second.
I like to think that that's him.
Hmm.
No,
I walk out. I say
He's
that.
in
He's like,
character.
just a second. He like
Yeah.
walks off.
Right back.
He is in character.
Oh, he got himself
A stick.
a stick.
A glowing pinky is changing
Does look
colors.
a little pink, yeah. It's the lights.
Mm.
All right, well, friend. First and foremost, welcome to being an elf. You're gonna find that the eyes and ears are much more keen than those floppy ones you were flowing around with a little bit ago.
You are not elf. You are accursed.
Yes, and now so are you.
My
Cursed
mother-
live a long lifetime.
Fix this when I kill you.
And he runs at you.
Let's do initiatives.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I should have selected my guy.
What is your initiative, Balrin?
No, I need to click
I
my icon.
haven't rolled it yet. 20.
Okay, you beat him. So for right now, it's just you and him. Everybody will jump in next turn. You go ahead and go first.
Baron will take his trident, and I'm just going to assume he's not used to his new body yet and having things like a neck. And so I'm just going to use the trident and see if I can't trip him up and make him just fall into the sand.
Give me a attack roll followed by an athletics.
Yeah.
It's a 25 on the attack roll.
Yeah, that hits. Give me an athletics.
13.
He comes running in, and you catch him at the leg and swoop it, and he is down on the sand.
All right, friend, listen. I didn't bring you back just to kill you again. We need to have a few words. Whatever killed you wasn't us.
Drag you before the mother, and she will make me a king.
Well, we'll talk about your mother later. But first, what killed you and all your friends?
I'm not speaking to the accursed.
Alrin, when did you get that title?
I don't know. Probably picked it up when whatever Feywild I was in. Or maybe it was when these things took my hand.
And then you hear him making weird noises. He's looking at you and he's like, and he's feeling at his neck.
You've stolen our words.
I didn't steal your words. I gave you new ones.
You took my tongue.
Actually, I gave you a neck. You should thank
You
me.
made me an ugly thing that cannot dance, and it cannot fly.
Well, that is mostly true. In the meantime, something happened last night. Lots of lightning out there. What do you know about it? The red lightning.
I hate you above all things.
Okay, that's
And if I could
fantastic.
take your head and lick it clean to the bone, I would wear that proudly to my mother. So kill me, or let me leave, but I'll give you nothing.
You're really going to make me do this the hard way, aren't you?
You're filth, and you've made me filth.
All right, fine. We'll do it my way.
Did you say mother? Like
He's speaking in common.
Mm-hmm.
He's been speaking common this whole time. And then he was trying to use something else and just couldn't.
I love that. I hate you above all things. Well, that's fantastic. Alrin. Oh shit.
Fulcrum's going to emerge out of the bubble at this point and just stand at the ready nearby Ballard in case this thing gets up and proves to be hostile.
It sees you, Fulcrum, and its eyes go. Give me what's your passive insight?
Ooh, insight? Not amazing. It's like an 11. Or probably less than that. I'm trying to remember, is it an 8 plus or a 10 plus?
Balrin, your passive insight's awesome, right?
It's 10 plus.
Yeah, it's great.
It's 10 plus, it's only like an 11 then.
Get a keen elven insight.
Its eyes shoot over to Fulcrum as he emerges from the dome, and his eyes go wide, and suddenly he is trying to focus on you immediately, and it's like he's having a very difficult. All of his facials are just over the top as he's almost trying to rethink how to use his face. But he definitely reacted to Fulcrum specifically.
Stitch forms into a long mace, chained mace, with extra chain in case he needs to go a little bit further. All right, Balrin, you need me to tie it up or what?
Well, I was kind of hoping it would talk a little more.
Hell, he kind of told you a little something.
Who is your mother?
Kill me.
I step out of the dome.
I already done tried that once, didn't you?
His eyes look over to Kodo, and now... And he tries to get up.
I will take a strike at him with Stitch.
Okay, go for it.
Chain version. This is what.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. And you're gonna wrap him?
Yes, I'm going to restrain him or attempt to restrain him.
Okay. Stitch whips around and grabs up the legs and then starts to splinter into smaller threads that, as it hits the waist, fly out and grab his wrists and slam them into his waist.
Right. Probably. This will be bludgeoning, though, I assume. But it's 12. Just make him sit down.
As it wraps around, it chews almost like barbed wire that's wrapping itself up and sliding along the skin as it does. And you guys see, for the first time, red blood come out of this thing. And it's like...
Well, that's gotta feel horrible.
I can hold him here for now, or if we're done with him, I could use him, maybe.
I know. Come on there, my new elven friend. Why don't you tell us what happened to the rest of your friends?
You'll need to give me a intimidation or something else.
Should start talking.
I like intimidation. I'm not good at it, though, apparently.
Fulcrum, go ahead and attempt intimidation. Go ahead and take advantage.
Or just good cop, bad cop in this thing.
Yeah.
And somehow Aaron's the good cop.
Yeah.
As
did I have advantage, did you say?
Well, that was pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah, I'll take that. Have that point.
Ever says goodnight, everybody.
Good night, Ever.
He's like, no.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Such thing.
You dirty liar.
Dad, you're such a loser.
Hey, good night, Mouse.
Good night, Mouse.
Good night.
Hey, Mouse.
I
I think he's saying
One
good
of them
night.
called me.
I don't. I'm confused by his.
I love you.
You didn't think you were leaving, Mouse, but we're giving you the boot. It was just our subtle way of doing it.
No, I'm not leaving. All right. Fulcrum, as you say your line, Balrin, Kodo, you see Stitch's wrappings start to slowly torque and twist sideways. And then he shakes at that. He's like, how are we supposed to, if we see him, bring him to her?
Him who?
You.
Oh, they're looking for you, Fulcrum.
He's the prize.
And take it to her being
The mother.
Oh, I bet this is well, what's her name?
I think they're talking
Wait, is she the puzzle lady?
the widow bride, I think.
The Widow Bride, yes.
Oh.
Puzzle lady. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes.
You sure you still need this one ball run?
But listen, I've been killing things for a long time. Y'all got angry at me. I bring one thing back to life, and you don't seem no happier either.
Skeezer, are you still in the dome?
Oh, I'm still yelling from inside the dome. Yes.
Okay, every time Skeezer yells, he immediately searches in every direction.
You'd be wise to answer that voice too.
That voice is a trap. That voice is bait for the underthings. I saw 5 of that voice. I will see more.
Saw 5 of that voice.
Under.
You know, this one could perhaps be useful as a guide. He knows his way around this island well enough.
I think he'd take the first second he could to lead us right to our deaths.
That's possible.
You can let him swim home.
He looks over at Kodo. He's looking at all of you.
Well, Ballroom, you went with the trouble to bring him back. So tell me what you'd like me to do.
Well, I was just going to get information from him. I know you're not much for taking people into captivity, so I would somewhat almost enjoy watching him try to swim home. He's going to find it quite frustrating.
Did he say I was bait for something?
He did.
There are 5 of them?
He seems to be having a lot of reactions. And you might want to see if he reacts to you if you want, Skeezer.
Well, once I do, poof.
Well, are we going to go inside or are we going to stay out here?
I don't know, Captain.
Well, if we're going inside, I'd like him.
You like him what?
Be a bit of extra help.
I mean, you want to kill him.
Only if Ballroom thinks he's done with him. He was already dead. He seemed to want to die again.
Well, if he was already dead, why don't you just use that one?
It doesn't work that way.
Well, I'm not comfortable with killing him now that we just got him back.
All right, I'll drop the dome and let him see his past. It's in here anyway.
One comes. Wherever that is one comes.
You've seen one like him before.
5. They run. They vanish. Smoke monsters. Lies. Nothing here is real, and those things summon the underthings, and they are coming. If that one is there, they are coming.
The other things live on this island.
Great underthings. The ground will swallow you whole.
Then why do you all come here?
The prize. One of those is real. The mother wants what it has. The mother wants it.
So it's not just me.
Wants what the skeezers have, huh? So I take it then.
Mother.
Where she is queen. In the darkness, in the crushing black. I would take you to her. I would take you to her and watch your eyes bulge out of your skull.
Oh, that probably means the crushing depths of the ocean. Maybe. Or death? Probably both solve that puzzle. Well, he's an interesting sort of guy over here. Why Dark Elf?
That one should be quiet. Or
Are
they
you
will
afraid of the
come.
monsters?
And then off in the distance, you hear.
Wait, did you do that?
Off in the distance, you hear. And then off in the distance, you hear.
Just, like I said, boogly, boogly, boogly.
And then you hear. And then you see a skeezer run from one tree line to another.
Does it look like skis are exactly the way that the one that we met for dinner, or is it like Tonko or one of the?
No, it looks like actually no. Give me a perception check, everybody.
Oh, or it automatically fails.
If I kind of hope like
That'll be net 20s.
that you screw it up.
Yep, pretty badly. 5. 16. I
Oh,
am
that's
just as good at
perfect.
telling the difference. Nope, that's me.
Okay.
I rolled a 14, so a 22.
As Skeezer, as you look up, you see a little form, and then you're like, but like Kodo and Ballerin and Morgaine are kind of in your way, and you're trying to look between their legs. At, what was that? And you don't catch it.
Morgaine, put down your bow. I can't see in the blind.
And you guys see this thing running as fast as it can, stressed out of its mind, curly-toed shoes and everything. And then you see another one further down the beach. And then you hear... And you see one of them split off of one and run into a tree and cease to exist. And then one walks up and goes like, yeah! And then all of a sudden you see as it throws its hands down, a giant puff of pink smoke, and it's gone.
I think we might need to either go or hide again.
Well, where are the other ones at?
One is running up a hill.
After me!
And on after me, we're going to take a quick break and get beverages and get bathroom as.
Right on.
After me!
I was originally going to run after him and be like, why are we running? It's like running in parallel.
All right, we'll stick around. We will be right back.
Bring your best 98 degrees jokes.
Bring your best night.
Right.
Bring the heat.
That's terrible.
That's awful.
All right, be right back.
After me!
Well, 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
That's
We
okay with
tried.
Stevie.
We tried. He's on a magical mystery tour, so I could do whatever I want to his character now, because that's what happens when you leave the game.
I like how it's daytime in his house.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we get started, we can't put 98 degrees on as the music on break because then it deletes the music and sound.
Yeah,
for the
I mean, we can, but
It's just a one-time
I'd
deal.
like to keep the Twitch account.
Oh, look at
Twitch
that.
is cracking down on everybody. Maybe we'll put a Discord radio bot. What do you think about that, Jeff? We'll throw a radio bot in Discord that plays nothing but 98 degrees.
Just
all
put it in
day.
a channel I never go into.
Yep.
That works.
Get a radio bot.
I like how these holes kind of look like a face.
They do?
Nose down the middle, little chin.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Tim's back with a cat.
Chat cat, Twitch cat.
She was meowing and angry the entire time I was up.
We have to know what the cat's name is because the chat has to know.
Yeah, so this is Artemis, one of 2 of my cats. The other one is Luna, and that's very much my wife's cat, Stephanie.
Nice.
But Artemis is attached to me, essentially. Always know.
Okay. Where we last left off, Skeezer, loud and proud.
After me!
So, Skeezer starts chasing after the other Skeezer. What do you do, everybody?
So I'm attached to this guy.
He cannot walk unless you alter the bindings.
Yep.
Am I supposed to catch one of them?
If you catch one, you get to keep it. It's like fair rules.
You have to catch them all. One might say, you gotta.
Oh, man. That's
But only if you want to be the very best. And I mean, like, no one ever was.
All right, let me figure out which one of my animal forms is the fastest movement speed. We'll make this thing happen.
Wait, you actually want another one?
Skeezermon.
Yes.
Oh, you guys got to get little balls and shove them in the balls, and you got to throw them out in the middle of the fight.
We just
I have the tiny hut. It's already a dome.
We just need to figure out a way to just take that machine they already made, downsize it, and then we basically have it.
That's true. That is true.
All right, and we found.
And we'll just unravel this guy then and just leave him on the beach to his unfortunate and terrible fate.
Yeah, I mean, we're off. Okay, what you do with him now? But Skeezer says, after me, unless we're in initiatives that deal otherwise, Byron will wild shape into a panther, which gives me 50 feet of ground movement.
Nice.
Time to find a panther.
Prow, 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 prow.
Do I get a panther? Ooh, I got a panther. He's not bad.
I have, in fact, yelled Skeezer Dome a few times. I'm trying to remember what the first time it was, but yes.
What we need is a highway to the Skeezer Dome. That's what we need.
Well, we did take a ride into the Skeezer Dome.
It's true.
Gonna take you right into the Skeezer Dome.
Could this entire island classify as that? For going inside of it?
Thunder just struck pretty hard outside. That's awesome.
Nice.
I don't like this. I don't like this panther. He's
Look
he's
more
not
like a tabby
nice.
cat.
He did not look good.
Yeah.
This map is so enormous that I didn't realize where characters were. We're like,
I found us. We're at the very bottom.
What? That doesn't sound like a thing I do. What are you talking about? Make a giant map, guys.
That looks
I want
like
you to
a
excuse me.
that looks like a snake.
You got to stretch that one out.
Ooh, there we go. Hey, Vitek versus the world. How we doing? Is that,
Hey,
is that Bob Ross? Or not Bob Ross? Bob
He's
Ross?
got Bob Ross.
Yeah.
that is digital Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is in fact a popular Twitch figure.
I love that.
oh, yeah.
Okay, I am represents character Balrin Harros.
Bam.
Yeah.
Not
What
showing
was
the
his
name.
favorite blue, Levi? Was it Philo blue, right?
Phthalo.
Phthalo.
Is
I got
how
some-
you pronounce
some
that.
Phthalo blue here.
It was always burnt umber and
Hi, everybody.
Phthalo blue.
Let's talk about art briefly, which none of you signed on for, but here we go. I'm an art teacher. When you're talking about the various colors, the root primary colors you use to mix up other colors really do matter, because the type of red you use to make a certain type of secondary color, you cannot change the red, you cannot change the blue, you cannot change the yellow. So you actually have to buy a wide array of those building block colors in order to get all the colors you actually need. And so the key to blues that you normally get are like phthalo blue and ultramarine blue, or a Prussian blue. And ultramarine blue on the blue scale skews towards violet, and phthalo skews towards green. So that's why Bob Ross always uses phthalo blue for his skies, so they look appropriately a nice, beautiful cerulean.
It was beautiful.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful. Time to slap the brush.
Yep.
Oh,
that's what you get with a Bob Ross emoji.
You have to beat the devil out of it.
That's correct.
True.
All right. You now have
Right,
a
Vitek,
panther.
He's got us there. That's what we're all about.
All the info you get outside of the D&D content.
We are so much more than D&D, right?
Sure.
We're also full of useless information, usually handily given out by people that didn't ask for it, by other middle-aged men just like us. It's called a midlife crisis. We think we're helping. Welcome to Mansplaining, everybody.
Somewhere in the midst of all that, Zombie Decoy was rolling his eyes like, I gotta sit through this lecture again.
Like, God, how many times are you going to do the phthalo blue talk? Every time somebody
we
says
get
Bob
it.
Ross.
You like phthalo blue.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Oh, specifically Zombie Decoy, and then I'll move on. Zombie Decoy for a Twins Day for Homecoming, Tearch and I, she dressed as a happy tree and I dressed as Bob Ross. And then I live tried to do a Bob Ross landscape in front of the class because they were challenging me.
Oh boy.
You can't back down from a challenge from your teacher. I didn't get the whole thing done, but they did start shutting up because I was pulling it off, which is pretty great. They're like, you can't. I'm like, and they're like, wow, he's really doing it.
We're off the rails right now. So have you seen the YouTuber Jazza?
No,
I haven't
Jazza,
seen.
he's like
Jazza.
Jazza's like, he's either Australian or yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, I think you might be. Anyway, he did a Bob Ross tutorial blindfolded, only listening to what Bob Ross was explaining, and painted a picture along with it.
That's awesome.
It turned out fairly freaking accurate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a good one. This man is not a good artist. Funny or Die or College Humor, I forget where he comes from. I think it's Funny or Die. Added a Bob Ross tribute show called Shirtless Painter. And Shirtless Painter, when it starts, it's a guy with a shirt off and he just starts painting, and he is not good. And it is absolutely fantastic. I will turn that on in my classroom and just leave it up on the projected big screen, because it's this guy that sucks at painting, but he has the same spoken cadence as Bob Ross. He's like, hey, so join me today for Shirtless Painter. Take your shirts off and let's all get to painting. He's like, anybody can paint and anybody can paint anything. And that's what he says every single time. Anybody can paint and anybody can paint anything. And then at one point he paints a birthday cake and he shoves candles through the canvas and then he lights it on fire and the whole thing catches fire. He's like, and let's get our cake, let's get our candles lit. He sucks. It's fantastic. And then I make all the kids feel better. I'm like, look, this guy's not good. Aren't you guys enjoying this? They're like, yeah, it's awesome. Like, exactly. And he's not good.
Bob Ross, at some point in time, Bob Ross has to be known as the father of ASMR.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I cannot recommend Shirtless Painter enough, everybody. He's had guest stars. Henry Rollins
did shirtless painter with shirtless painter.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It's good times. All right. So after me, we are not necessarily in initiatives, but this could become them. So Balrin, you drop to Panther form. Skeezer, you are the first in line. So go ahead and give me a double move to take off, and I'll give you the surprise round, so to speak, to start closing the gap unless you want to take an action right now.
All right, I'm just going to move forward 50.
Woo!
50. If I can figure out how far 50 is.
To be fair, I really tried to fix the grid, and the grid decided not to be fixed.
Oh,
so boy. I don't know why the grid won't show up, but it won't show up.
With 50, I can get past him.
Okay. You get alongside him, and he's hoofing it. You want to say anything?
Hey, where are we going?
We gotta go that way because we gotta get away from everything. We're going.
Flixtrix?
That's me. That's you.
Nope. Don't. Skeezer. Different one. Different name. Different guy.
No.
Here to say hello to you.
No. And he keeps going.
All right.
And up close, even running, those eyes are haunted.
They're pretty amazing.
They are pinpoint. They are bloodshot to shit. And if you haven't noticed, once he's side by side next to Skeezer, everybody, you can see that his quills are gray and white. They're not colored like Skeezer's are.
The copy machine a few too many times.
Let's go ahead and treat it as full initiatives, everybody. Skeezer, that's an old one, right? That's an old initiative?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to drop it. The turn order is now clean. Go ahead and everybody roll it up.
Token. Nice. Terrible rolls. Love it. We're all slow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now I get to put it in descending order. All right. My turn. Okay, Balrin's on there as a 10. Jesus.
We're all really fast.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
For me, I'm just slow. For the rest of them, they don't give a shit. Oh, really, Rachis? Awesome. Everybody's hanging out.
Oh,
it's Chad. What's up, Chad?
Chad. Love it. I forgot about the Chad. So good.
You guys don't remember that?
I do now. I forgot for some reason, but
that is amazing. Oh God. Oh, couple Twitch handles. It's just like Lady Z and Z-Bomb.
That's right.
Oh, it's fantastic. That brings me hope. Okay.
Just remember,
he's booking it. Ah! And then you even see Skeezer. I'll back him off a little bit. At the latter half of that movement, he is starting to cast something. And you see almost like the floaty.
Do you have him on the screen somewhere?
He went up to the top.
Where?
He's
all the way up there. Let me zoom
I'll ping him. He's right here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get chat to see the distance there, but we're so tiny, we blend in.
Yeah.
He's pulling his fingers apart, and you're starting to see little plasmoids, like inside of a lava lamp, flow between his hands. And they are all multicolored rainbow. And you see they're starting to ooze out of his ears.
Oh, yeah, the old ooze out of your ears trick.
Fulcrum, you are up.
All right, I will double move after them, giving chase. That's
what do you do with the elf?
giving chase, I let him go completely. I just unravel Stitch from him, and
on this moment, you let it go. And Stitch, is it a whip or a sword now?
It was I think I created it as a flail, but during this turn, I was intending to, as I double moved, if I could use my bonus action to make it into a longbow, I was planning to do that.
Oh, cool. Okay. You pull up Stitch, and Stitch really quick, all of its little chain links fracture into tiny black threads and then start to spin into the shape of a and almost like an inverse when you see on a like old school cartoon where somebody's mustache gets crazy and spirals. That's what happens out of Fulcrum's hand, except it solidifies into a bow.
That's my turn. I get a little, I think 10 feet ahead of Skeezers run by. It's like, should I shoot him?
What?
That's my
Think
turn.
he's about to cast on us. I don't know.
Balrin. Panther Balrin. Balther. Panther?
Ooh. This is where he swallows another Skeezer whole.
We did say you got to catch them all.
Gotta eat them all. Oh, yeah.
He's all the way up here.
Yeah, he's in range.
We got short legs. It's our homely weakness.
So before he could go any further, I'll just, do the little pounce take him to the ground move. Because that's what cats do.
So that's what you're going to do?
Wait, you're boxing me?
All right. No.
You?
No.
that
Make your
one's
tackle roll.
totally.
Make
Go
your
ahead and
tackle roll.
roll
I
that,
see
please.
him.
Make your tackle. Nope.
That
Make
is
your
such a
tackle.
ballroom move.
Yeah.
Make your tackle. It's too perfect. Do it.
It's tracks.
Hold on, I gotta check my Panther stats real fast. I forgot what the bonuses are.
Of course this would happen.
Yeah, that may or not. Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is the most ballroom thing that has ever occurred.
It is.
Got you little bastard. That's what he says
You
too.
little motherfucker.
I got you. One down, 4 to go. You little
Chasing you.
stupid.
+2. I wondered when this day would come.
You little mastermind behind all this stupid shit.
You got my rum out of me.
You.
I knew I should have given you the rum.
You're all like, put Balrin the rum.
That's the only way I survive. You miss.
He misses?
I got a 16 AC.
Wow.
I
Okay.
got mage armor and a ring of protection, so.
Balrin, you go over and you miss just barely. You actually feel your claws scrape against some sort of hardened surface just beyond the edge of his skin.
Can you not seriously not tell the difference between me and the guy with the lava lamp coming out of his face?
Skeezer, you're up.
Just like, like what? Actually, I don't even know if that's you necessarily. So I'm just like, oh, it's the beast! Just start running off.
The beast.
Yeah, I'm gonna start tracking up. What is he casting? Or is he casting?
You don't know. Give me an Arcana check.
All right. Oh yeah, 25.
Not bad.
Those are the hand signals for Major Image.
Huh.
His fingers are going through the motions of Major Image, but you see his lips are mumbling something very fast. You can't hear him because you're so far back, but you see the hand quick motions and you see him real quick pull into his tiny little pouch that dangles off his arms. And he's like, and throwing stuff up, and you see the is morphing out.
He's about to cast an illusion! And then I'll just
Let's charge on. We'll catch back up to him.
This is the problem. You keep standing right next to him, then I get confused which one's which.
He's the one in the purple.
In front of him there, and hope that he runs into me. As I'm going to pull that nonsense where you run in front of somebody and you stop.
All right, Kodo, you're up.
Yeah, it's definitely in terms of service.
Kodo, you are still standing back at where this elf is on the ground.
Yeah.
I should just grab him real quick. So, do we have a true dark elf or not really?
I mean, we got a fake Morgaine. That's about the same thing, right?
Oh yeah, I got some drow to use. That's cool. Hi, y'all. I prefer the word drow.
Yeah.
Drow seems silly.
Drow is nonsense.
Care for it.
Oh, yeah.
People actually say that, Dro.
Yeah.
Hi. Welcome to the issue of literature when authors don't include pronunciation guides, which most fantasy novels don't have. So, is it Drizzt or Drizzit? Is it Dro or is it Drow? Nerds will never know.
I like to pretend in the Drow language that the Z's are silent. It's just Drit.
That breaks my brain. You're the first person, of course, to add a third option to this debate. Ogle's like, you know what I think? I'm like, God damn it, no.
I think the D is silent. It's just Ritz.
It's just rich. Let's put him on.
Actually, it's just the RZA. And
like you're just all assuming that it sounds phonetically from English. You're just all wrong. Elves speak a completely different language. It's
everything is silent but the W.
That's right.
All right, Kodo. The moment you see the chain form away from the drow and release the sea ugly and release its skin. You see he's got wounds on his legs, but he's already in the motion of trying to get up. He will move after your turn. What do you do? Actually, he will get an initiative after your turn, so he might move faster than you.
I put my hand on him.
Oh, nope. He rolled a nat 1 because I rolled it. You put your hand on him. Okay.
I heal him for 5 points. And I look into him and I say, you have been given a new chance. Make the right decisions or I will end you. Give
me a
intimidation? Persuasion?
I'll take intimidation. It's your whole nice intimidation angle. And go ahead and use advantage.
Okay, so the 14 wins. 14, so 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. His eyes go wide and confused looking at it. And he starts backing away. And he scrambles backwards, like backwards crab walk along the sand. And once he sees no one's chasing him, he runs for the waves and he dives in, but it looks very strange and awkward. His arms are flailing about all wrong. And when he tries to swim, he just keeps surfacing. And you can tell he's not getting nearly the speed he wants. But he's already in the water.
And I turn and take my next action to keep moving forward. Which apparently I can't see.
He runs at you, and he does he goes, and you see pouring out of his hands and face.
Oh boy.
Let me get something.
Probably VTech.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time a version of me popped out of my chest and I had to reabsorb them. We'll see what happens. This stuff just kind of happens. It better not be a carrier skeezer. I like the carrier cows.
I think the sushi was stale.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not a good thing to have stale.
Fun fact, I'm not sure the drow really existed in Limworld till now. I think they just created an entire new species.
You know what's great, Balrin? Next character's going to be a drow now, because they exist.
There you go.
I have to do it.
Because I can do it now. They're canon.
And somehow in the drow lineage.
Whoa. That's a hell of an illusion.
He vomits out a castle.
Zoom out.
Whoa.
A small castle, small for a castle. For a castle, that's small. That is what somebody would at best call a small keep, or where you would hold a garrison.
By 50.
There's Skeezer right there. Just so you know, guys.
Is that like one of those Darren's Instant Fortresses?
Could be.
Is that what
It's
they were
an
called? It'll did.
So he pours that out, and he's like, "Wah!" And he looks at you, and then suddenly his eyes quirk up. Ah! 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 You came back.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We got one. And then he puts his hands on you.
Oh, that's not good.
Wait, don't go putting hands on him.
That's taking a weird turn.
I mean, technically, he's just touching himself.
But is he really?
I don't think I can pull up a picture of Skeezer. I don't have a Skeezer. I don't have a Skeezer guy I can pull up, show you the difference.
Don't have a Skeezer guy.
Well, I don't have like your picture I can pull up.
VTech got it right. I see now. He has a purple shirt. Super makes sense.
Right? Right?
That's right. That's the subtlety we're going for here.
He is breaking social distancing. I agree.
Yep.
He seems like he's a little stressed. I think he's about to absorb my life essence. He's been running on fumes.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance.
Yeah, if you just like super zoom in on him on the map, you can.
I mean, there's Steve.
I don't.
Steve looks good.
I look like a
And
grain
there's,
of sand.
Treat.
Steve.
He's good. And I got Dibbin.
There he is.
And may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
That does.
It was good. Tonko. There's Tonko.
Tonko's kind of a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. It's a wisdom save.
Is this
See
a
if
magical effect?
This is
I can
definitely
get
a magical
close enough
effect.
to
Now, we
the
are sort of breaking
skis.
canon because I couldn't
Nope.
find ruling that says there's no specific ruling that says it cannot be used against an unwilling target.
Okay.
But I'm going to call it a wisdom save.
That is a 18.
You fail.
Ooh. All right, let's see
And
what happens.
after you guys see Plixitix grab Skeezer and go, we got one! You see a burst of purple, green, and yellow smoke erupt in this area. Oh, guys, I get to do a cool thing. Hold on.
Oh boy. That's maybe not great.
Ooh,
Did you
it's a
see it?
rainbow. Yeah, so it's pretty.
Oh yeah, look at those
You
effects.
guys see that occur, and where that occurs, you guys see Plixitix is gone.
What about Skeezer?
So is Skeezer.
Well, yeah, I had to go there. I had to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine until you asked.
Oh,
And it's 1 a.m., and that's a perfect place to end.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Tiger.
Wow. Okay.
So between now and next Everstorm game, we have to have Morgane's excellent adventure, and we gotta have whatever Skeezer's like off doing.
Skeezer, as he's going in for your hands, for your face, you see the hands are twisting. A big conjuration.
Big conjuration.
I want a Morgane excellent adventure. Well, the funny thing is with Morgane, you will get the blue.
I was gonna say, you have to have it.
Excellent.
It's got to start with Harmony showing up like George Carlin in the trench coat with like, it's like taking
oh, that's amazing.
Station.
Oh shit.
Station.
Well, this could go a lot of ways.
It's going to be great.
We've successfully jammed the party into 3 chunks.
Yep, it's going to be awesome. I'll talk to Cam about how we run something when he's got time to do it. Next week, I know he can't, and even I couldn't because I'm going to be traveling up to Michigan. So the week following will be the week right before a game, and I'll try if we can fit something in right there. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, everybody. I'm sorry I'm cutting off, but
thank you for the bits.
Oh, look at
Appreciate
that. Thank you.
Man, make it rain.
Yeah, thank you.
So very kind. Thank you very much. So I'm sorry to end it at 1. I was going to try and push a little bit later, but that's a really good end point. And I rarely pull a spell off on Pan.
It's true.
It's very rare. Normally he throws resistance at me and counterspell, and it's whack.
I was about to counterspell there, but it was a good ending, so I'm just going to let it slide.
I would have countered your counter.
It's happened before. Like every time now.
In this very game.
So, don't worry. After you stop fighting copies of yourself, you might be able to not get your counters countered anymore.
I feel like wherever the Clicks and Skeezer just went, it's like that scene in Being John Malkovich where he goes inside and everyone's a John Malkovich.
And they just say
I
they're
climb out of myself.
Yeah.
BPAC is right. I'm blue decking your blue deck.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's your life, man.
I am a blue player, so yeah. Okay.
Can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Oh, you can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can build that stack as it's ridiculous. Okay. So, to that end, plugs. Who's got what's? Who would like to kick things off?
I got him.
Get him.
Because that's what I do around here most of the time. All right, so you won't have to wait long to see more game here on TT2KB because it's Sunday. And it's a Sunday when my Zweihander game takes place. So if you come back about 5 p.m. Central Time tonight, you'll see Chapter 2 of my Zweihander game, Horror in Huttenberg. It's Witchstone.
The horror in the Huttenberg.
And Jeff there is one of my players. You'll see him here. I got Chuck from Defenders of Kobold, Lindy from Laugh Love Lindy. I got Alex from Untold Stories Project. And Hope Lavelle from D&D Beyond. Those are my players.
Looking forward to it.
Sorry, Dustin, we're reading chat.
Yeah, I saw some of what was going on there.
Jack thinks lesser of me as a human now that he knows I'm a blue player.
Well, he's not wrong. I mean, that is painful.
I don't take my turn on my turn. I take my turn on your turn.
So that'll be tonight, 5 p.m. Tomorrow, Monday, I should say, at this point, because it's probably confusing people. But Monday, 10 p.m., me and Jeff are back for the Wisdom Check. We're going to be talking Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Really?
Yes, we are.
Are you going to 3 in the morning again this time?
And he's running, who knows how long we'll go. But, we have a guest coming on who's going to be running Werewolf the Apocalypse for Untold Stories Project. So we're going to be talking Werewolf the Apocalypse Monday. So I'm hyped for that one because it's my favorite.
Werewolf.
It's been a while.
Tuesday, we will not have Bardic Knowledge, I don't believe. Cameron is still gone, correct? So
he is gone.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait a whole nother week for Bardic Knowledge to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday, is DM prep for Jeff because it's an off week for Pathfinder 2e.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff, you're going to be doing some DM prep. What can the fans expect to see if they come show up for DM prep?
Well, we're going to work on NPCs, and you're going to be able to take some bits and or channel points and help me make some decisions. So I'll have some things laid out.
You're not allowed to watch his show.
Yeah. So you guys can get involved. I'm going to set up the amounts on that, and I'll try to put up some options of things, at least a couple things for you guys to choose, and we'll figure out how this is going to go. So it should be fun.
And then Thursday is going to be 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
Yep. In the meantime, Clint is cranking the difficulty up even higher to 5.
We're just going all in.
We're going
3 isn't a challenge. We thought Warrior would be tough, and it was tough for like
a day,
a couple hours.
Yeah.
And so we've all gotten too soft, and now we're like we're building houses with couches and shit. So
what numerical? Yeah, seriously. What numerical level is what we're on, and what's its title is Warrior, but its level is what number?
We're on 3.
It went
So
from
what's
level
5 called?
We went from level 1 to level 3, and now 3 to 5.
Insane.
Let me just look.
That's it.
Air Laser says exactly what I said. Crank that fucker up to 11. That's right.
5 is 11.
That's it.
It's called Insane. Its description is your one brave mother.
Zombie damage is 250%, and damage that we dish out is 25 question mark?
It's 25% lower, or it's 25 of what we now do.
25%. Yeah. Well, right now we only do 75% of total damage.
Oh shit!
This is 50% more damage.
But the zombies only do 150 damage to us, so we're going to crank their damage by another 100%, and we're reducing our damage by 50. Yeah.
That's the damage they do to us. The problem is the damage they're going to do to the bases.
Yeah, because they're just going to obliterate walls. It's going to be wonderful.
Oh, Fruit is here.
Fruit. Hey, man. How are we, Fruit?
19 months, man.
19 months.
You know the amazing part about Fruit being sub for 19 months is that I think Clint's only sub for 18, and he was here from day one. Like, how the hell is he been so long than any of us?
I don't know.
That's amazing. Thank you, Fruit.
Great, Fruit. Thanks for stopping by.
Always appreciate you. Everyone spam those Brazilla icons.
You came at the end, Fruit. I'm sorry, man, but thanks for coming by.
You just winked my character out of existence. I just have it.
He winked his own character out of existence with a bad roll. That's his fault.
Yeah, that sounds like that DNBS. You killed yourself. No, I didn't.
All right. What do you guys do? I'm sorry. I'm kidding. What's next?
So that's this week
full wrap, right?
Because there's nothing Friday. There's nothing next Saturday for Everstorm. We're still 2 weeks out from another Everstorm. So
right.
So that takes us to the week.
So, I am going to DM to Art on Monday.
On Monday?
Because I'm gonna leave Tuesday through Thursday, so I can't DM to Art not down here in my cool setup. So
that is true. I forgot there is something Friday. I am going to be guest appearing over at the Air Laser channel on one of their short-lived games with the Monster of the Week.
That's
yeah.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I'm appearing on Smart Gamer Network on Masculine Mimicry. Velik has invited me to be a guest, so we're talking alignment systems on Wednesday on Masculine Mimicry. So that's
good. Do alignments.
Yeah, old
that's
dead
gonna be
horse.
just like ugly and angry the whole time.
It's gonna be great.
Oh man!
So you may catch me over there on Wednesday.
Awesome.
So, thank you so much for giving us your time tonight. Thank you for joining us for Everstorm. We love making it. It's like the home core game we always come back to. I love working on it with these guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please come back in 2 weeks. I don't have a name yet, but for game 12, which is actually game 41, which means, gentlemen, you leveled after tonight.
Oh, we did?
Oh, so now
did I?
10? Level 10.
Level 10.
My.
Oh, man.
So
You know,
when we come back,
it did not seem that long ago that we jumped level. Like, that one went quick.
It's good.
It's good.
Good. Because it's all about divisible by 4.
Okay.
So as of 41, you guys clock to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Right before we start playing game 41.
Yeah. Kool-Aid Castle, yes.
We'll be leveling, take on the Kool-Aid Castle.
Nice. I'm going to spec into, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So.
Do we have a raid target by any chance?
I did.
Sweet.
Who we got?
Maddie Moore.
Of course we're going to see Maddie Moore.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
So stand by for Maddie Moore gradage.
Thanks for coming by, everybody. Have a lovely evening.
Okay, we can take another few seconds for it. Lets me hit the button. Here we go. We're gone.
Goodbye, or see you there. Nice.